Hello, this is Teo Tamara, and welcome to part 2 of Buried Stars. So where we left off, we just discovered Sung Yun's body, and, well, I somehow missed an entire conversation and had to start over, but I managed to do it in such a way that, it's no different to what I would originally have had. I also accidentally got the, didn't change your ringtone bad ending. There is apparently an ending if you don't change your ringtone before the conversation with everybody right before the body discovery. So, yeah. The shock subsided. The after effects still lingered. Do-yoon could only stare at the body vacantly. Sung-Yun Shin, the show's chief producer, she said everything was part of the show. She asserted that only the survivor gets to have it all. But she was gone. She couldn't have imagined this kind of end. Do-yoon tried to suppress his emotions running amok. He moved his parched lips to speak. Let's tell the rescue team about Sung-Yun. 2355, confusion.
실종으로 알고 있을 거야.
They should be assuming that she's gone missing.
전화해보자.
Let's make a call. Sale flinched and turned around to look at Do-yoon.
저 PD님부터 좀 옮겨놓고서.
Shouldn't we move her body first?
다리가 깔렸어. 저거 안 치우면 무리야.
Her legs are stuck. We can't move her unless we get rid of the debris.
구조대 전화했어. 잠깐만.
Hold on, I'm calling the rescue team.
안 받아. 무슨 일 있는 건가?
They're not answering. What's going on? Ju-young interrupted.
내가 베스트 쪽에도 해볼게.
I'll try to contact the B-Star staffs.
받았어.
It went through. Everyone held their breaths at the sound of the faint ringtone.
수준을 살펴봐달라고요?
You want us to examine the body? Looking startled, everyone raised their heads.
우리가요?
Do what?
추정 사인 내기 위해서를.
They're saying it's to record the cause of her death.
그걸 왜 제작진이네요?
Why would the production crew deal with that?
연락이 또 안 될 수 있어서 구조대 상황 전달한다고.
They're going to deliver the message to the rescue team in case we lose contact again.
우리가 무슨 감식반이야?
What are we, a forensics team?
무리야. 진짜 무리라고요.
This is just too much. Everyone stared at each other with perplexed expressions.
그건 나도 알고 있어.
I know that.
꼭 따를 필요가 있을까요?
Do we have to follow their request?
못하겠다고 하자. 이건 너무해.
Let's just tell them we can't do it. This is too harsh.
그래. 저쪽 말 다 들어줄 필요는 없어.
Yes, we don't have to listen to everything they tell us to do.
그치만 더 무너지면 시신은 아예.
But if the building collapses any further, the corpse will be completely,
파묻혀버리고 말겠죠. 어쩌면.
probably completely buried.
그건 안 돼.
We can't let that happen.
피디님이 좋은 사람은 아니었어. 알아.
I know Sung-Yun wasn't a good person,
그치만 적어도 어쩌다 이런 건지 가족은 알아야지.
but her family deserves to know what happened to her.
이대로 파묻혀버리면 안 돼.
We can't let her get buried like this. The uncanny strength in Ju-young's voice seemed to convince everyone. Everyone agreed to check out Sung-Yun's corpse.
PD님 상황을 조사해서 알려주면 되는 거죠?
So we just have to examine her condition and report back. Hye-sung began to roll up his sleeves.
나도 도울게.
I'll help out.
형 새가슴이잖아. 똑바로 볼 수나 있겠어?
You don't have the guts to do this. Can you even look at her? Despite the strong words, Hyesung's hands were trembling as well.
나도 뭔가 도울 게 있으면 말해줘.
Tell me if you need any help. Inha held her hands to her chest and wriggled her fingers. Ugh. Seil took a step forward but immediately turned away.
다른 사람들까지 무리할 필요 없어.
There's no need for everyone to overexert themselves.
나도 할게. 나머진 저쪽으로.
I'll help too. The rest of you just stand back. Do-yoon squeezed himself out of the crowd and stood before Sung-yeon's body. He took a deep breath. Let's begin.
시작할게요.
You can investigate a certain place or object to get a clue keyword. If you investigate all areas, it'll automatically end. The gruesome abrasion on her caught my eyes.
돌나.
Do-yoon, will you be alright? Gyu-hyuk placed his arm around Do-yoon to comfort him.
앞장서더니 뭐해?
Come on, I thought you could deal with this. Hyesung tried to suppress his voice from trembling. Do-yoon looked back at her. The top of her head had been crushed. It was a significant wound. This was undoubtedly the cause of her death.
고개를 들고 있다가 파편에 맞은 건가?
Did she get hit by a debris while holding her hand up?
자네 많이 떨어졌으니까.
A lot of debris did fall from above,
이 정도 상처면 파편 정도가 아니었을 거야.
but it couldn't have been just a debris to cause such terrible damage. The corpse was lying inches away from the collapsed frames and concrete debris. Her entire body would have been buried if it was lying slightly closer.
파편 같은 게 깔려 있어.
There's debris underneath her. A pile of debris from the collapse was sitting underneath her body. Her back
뒤쪽은 깨끗해.
is clean. Oddly, there was no debris on top of her body. His gaze stopped at the bloodstain on her hand.
저기도 상처가 있어.
Another wound. Do-yoon examined her hand.
손등에 상처가 심해.
The back of her hand was badly wounded.
머리만큼 심각한 건 아니지만
It's not as bad as the one on her head, though.
자네 맞은 건가?
Did she get hit by a fallen debris? It looked like the wound was caused by being struck or crushed by something. This was definitely a horrible sight to witness. Her legs were stuck under the collapsed steel frames. Do-yoon looked back at her. There was only a narrow gap between the floor and the frames. Her legs were also snapped at an unnatural angle. Her trousers were stretched out as if they had been pulled on.
다른 것처럼 늘어났어.
It's as if they're worn out.
빠져나오려고 하셨던 거겠지.
She must have struggled to get out.
이걸 치울 수는 없을까?
Can we get rid of these debris? The three of them tried to lift the steel frames.
안 되겠어.
No,
너무 무거워.
it's way too heavy. A large piece of concrete debris.
피가 묻었어.
There's blood splattered over it. This is clearly the debris that killed Sung-yeon.
이런 게 머리에.
If something like this fell on her head, Hyesung groaned as he mumbled out a few words.
여기까지인 것 같아.
I think we're done here.
연락
We'd better
해줘야겠지.
call the rescue team. Hyesung let out a deep sigh.
누나, 지금 연락 가능해요?
Chu-young, can you make the call?
바로 확인해 볼게.
I'll get right on it. Those who were standing back focused on their own watches.
혹시 전화 안 되는 거예요?
Is the call not going through?
잘 안 되는 것 같아. 잠깐만.
It's not working. Give me a sec.
신호 끊어지는 것 같은데?
The network signal's pretty bad.
여럿이 하면 더 안 될 수도 있어.
It might be worse because there are so many people.
밖이 난장판이라 통신이 됐다 말았다 한댔거든.
It's still a mess outside as well, and they said the signal's cutting in and out.
취재진, 구조대, 구경꾼까지 미어 터진다고.
We're surrounded by all sorts of reporters, rescue teams, and bystanders.
여기서 몰라도 밖엔 사람이 많았군요.
I didn't realize there were so many people outside.
이게 구경거리라는 거야?
Is this supposed to be entertaining for them?
어쩌면.
Yeah, perhaps. Frowning, Chu-young lowered her watch.
연락 안 돼.
I can't get through. Can someone
다른
else
사람도
try?
해볼래?
Can someone else try? Nobody, including Do-yoon, could make the call.
전화 우리끼리만 되는 것 같은데요.
We can only make calls to each other.
이래선 의미가 없어.
That's pointless.
이딴 짓을 시키고선 연락을 씹어?
How could they ignore our calls after making us do something like this?
서로 알리면
What if I post this on Fatter?
데이터에 환장했냐?
Are you obsessed with Fatter?
PD님 돌아가셨다고 아주 광고를 해라.
Why don't you just make a public announcement about Sung-yeon's death?
그런 넌 무슨 대책 있어?
Do you have any better ideas?
진정해. 당장 연락할 필요는 없어.
Relax, there's no need for us to make contact immediately.
나중에 다시 해봐도 될 거야.
It should be fine to tell them later.
그래요. 연락될 때 전해주면 되죠.
Yeah, we'll just let them know when we can.
그치만 PD님을 여기
But still, we can't just leave her here. There was a loud boom and the whole place began to shake. Head! Everyone cover your head!
조민아 시켜!
Do-yoon, duck! An ominous noise screeched out from the bent steel frames. All sorts of debris rolled across the floor. Soon, the tremor gradually began to subside. Ju-young brushed off the dirt from her hair and clothes. Is it
다
over?
지나갔나?
Is it over?
더 무너지는 건 아니겠죠?
I hope nothing else collapses.
누나 괜찮아요?
You okay, Chu-young?
참아보고 있어.
I'm trying to keep myself together. In-ha patted Chu-young on her shoulder.
무대 아래는 위험해.
It's dangerous to stay underneath the stage.
구조대한테는 연락될 때 얘기하고 위로 가자.
We'll contact the rescue team when we can. Right now, we should head up to the stage.
이나야, 그치만 이대로 두면
But In-ha, we can't just leave her like this.
네 생각만 하냐?
How selfish are you?
멈춰라! 우릴 생각하니까 이렇게 말한 거야.
I'm saying this for all of our safety, you idiot. I'm gonna agree with her. It might be too dangerous.
무대로 돌아가는 게 좋겠어요.
We'd better get back to the stage.
이대로 가버리잔 말이야?
You want to just leave her like this?
난 도윤이 말에 찬성해.
I'm with Do-yoon.
여긴 너무 캄캄해.
It's too dark down here.
자네라도 떨어지면
If
보고
something
피하는 것도 힘들어.
If something falls, we won't even be able to see it. Everyone held their breaths at the creaking of the steel frames.
생각이 갈릴 만한 얘기란 건 알지만
I know some of you might disagree, but
조명이라도 비치는 무대 위로 가는 게
I
좋을
think
것 같아.
I think it will be best to head up to the stage where it's brighter.
맞아. 떨어지는 거 못 보고 맞기라도 하면
Yeah, we won't be able to tell if there are any more debris falling down here.
PD님처럼
Then we might end up like Sung-yeon.
어쩔 수 없는 건가?
I guess we have no other choice. The group reluctantly headed up to the stage.
연락은
Let's keep
가서 계속 해보자.
trying to contact the rescue team.
구조대가 오면 다 끝나요. 전부 좋아질 거라고요.
Everything will be fine once the rescue team arrives.
버텨야 돼. 남은 시간 동안 어떻게든.
We need to stay strong until they arrive. Deep down, Do-yoon couldn't agree more. However, a sense of oddity during the inspection of the corpse. This mysterious feeling of oddity never went away. Now you can use the phone app on the smartwatch. You can call any one of your friends in your contacts. If you successfully make a call event occurs. There are a lot of different effects that can occur, so don't forget them. Only one call event is available for one communication. You can't call another character immediately. If a call event doesn't occur because your connection fails, you can still call someone else. Well, it would be a little pointless to do it now. Well, let's go on Fatter. One of Sung Yun's co-workers said that she was passionate about Bossy. She often pushed things forward without permission. The construction company illegally cut costs on construction materials and labor. I reported it, but I got fired. Don't believe what the staff are saying. A construction member insisted that some staff members intentionally covered up the shoddy constructions of the Beastar stage for some reason. Videos or photos of the accident may have to be handed over to the police. Store photos or videos of the accident site in a safe place. You might need to hand them in to the police as proof. A dead person was discovered, delaying rescue operations? With no exact source. Chu-young Kim, the drummer of Masquerade. He had no reason to blame himself. What do you mean? Why is this your fault? If I left our band when Woo-suk came up with the record deal on the condition of my leaving the band, we wouldn't have gone through all this Beastars trouble. Can't believe I ended up this mess because I couldn't let go. Anyhow, our band is about to follow Card, and you might continue to be a rock musician, changing the music genre. I wonder why you didn't abandon us back then. But it was just the beginning, not the end. Through Woo-suk, the vocalist of the band, the talk about making a record deal with a major agency began to yield progress. But Do-yoon discovered this just before signing the contract that it required replacing some of the band members and changing their genre. Do-yoon strongly opposed it, and there was some conflict within the band about it. He decided to check for new mentions later. Okay, I think that's all we can do right there. Anything we can really talk about with you? The debris and the crowded site.
그건
The debris by the head. It was a chunk of concrete.
그게
It probably fell from the ceiling.
그랬지.
It was covered in blood.
그래.
Yeah.
아무래도
Looks like the direct cause of her death was... It seems obvious that Rita fell on her head.
내 생각에는
Being hit on the head by the debris. It must have been the fatal blow.
그래.
Yes, there's no doubt about it. Although her legs were crushed under the steel frame.
그래도
That alone wouldn't have been enough to kill her, though. Gyu-hyuk fell silent. His face was pale. His eyes were on the other side of the area where Sung-yeon was found.
괜찮아?
You okay?
괜찮아.
I just felt nauseous for a second. I'm fine. Gyu-hyuk turned back to Do-yoon again. I guess everyone agrees that the cause of death was being struck by the piece of debris.
대체
Just how crowded is it out there?
아무래도
There's probably a huge crowd of reporters and bystanders. What are they trying to see? The collapse site? People getting hauled away? Maybe both. Gyu Hyuk looked up at the ceiling. There was only darkness above.
도인아,
What are you worried about the most?
나는
I'm worried that the rescue efforts might get delayed. They need to take control of the site and dismiss anyone who's not involved.
맞아.
I agree, that's what matters the most for us. Another thing that worries me is the unstable network.
그럴까?
It's probably because there are too many people out there. The reporters and bystanders, the volume of calls must be massive. And they're probably using up all the data traffic as well. You've got a point. The collapse is probably one of the causes, but it's especially bad in here. At this rate, we won't be able to make any necessary calls. Gyu Hyuk quickly looked at his watch. I hope they clean up the area quickly. None of these. Okay, so basically the debris.
그런데요.
It's so huge. Where did it come from?
아마도
Probably from the ceiling.
그랬지.
I'm guessing it fell when the audience area collapsed. That's the only debris here. Not really anything else. That was the only piece. Sale averted his quivering eyes from the chunk of concrete.
그게요.
Sung Yun had... Oh my god, I'm pronouncing it right. Sung Yun had many enemies. She once told me a joke saying that she was afraid of getting stabbed in the back someday. Seil, do you think this building will collapse even further? Are we all going to end up like Sung Yun? Let's try to be
Yeah.
reassuring. We'll get out of here alive. We rode out the crisis as long as we're careful. Oh,
네.
you sound very confident. We still have a long time until the rescue team arrives. We can't even call them right now.
있잖아.
Seil, we came back to the stage. Sung-Yun was in the audience area below the stage.
그래도
We have lights here and the ceiling is still holding. Seil hesitated and let out a sigh.
그래요.
You're right. What good would we do if we bore ourselves into the ground? It'd be unlikely for us to get hit by falling debris like Sung-Yun did. Although we can't certain about that if this place collapses further. Okay, there is some clunky translation going on here. Mostly grammar.
그렇다고 볼 수 있죠.
Everyone knew what Sung-Yun was like. During interviews, she would say that she only moves forward with the decision if all of her staff agrees.
말도 안 돼요.
But those are just empty words.
그 말은
She pushed on until everyone agreed, so people didn't even bother.
그러면
Is that what happened when she relocated the stage? Not just the stage.
100%예요.
She was always like that. Seil continued after surveying the stage. The rescue team must be confused as well.
어?
Why is that?
사실은
A lot of places were altered from the original blueprint, so there are some random spaces that were added or removed. If the rescue team gets confused, shouldn't we tell them about the changed locations?
그치만
The number of seats, lights, and partitions all changed to suit her. How am I supposed to remember all that?
그런-
No way. Seil frowned as their eyes met each other. I'm just a mere staff. What could have I done? Like I told you, she pushed on until everyone agreed with her decisions.
아시겠어요?
But do you think that she would have bothered to persuade staff members like us? We just did as we were told.
아니야.
I wasn't trying to criticize you. Yeah, I must have imagined that your eyes were filled with resentment.
저기
Does the rescue team know about the difference with the blueprint?
그래요.
I'm sure someone told them about the differences. If not, the construction company might have to take the blame. I just hope the rescue team is able to find their way in here.
너무 나갔어요.
I guess some people will get arrested for taking bribes.
그럼
You knew about this?
사실은
It's illegal to change the building structure without reporting it. Even if it was Sung-yeon's order, things might have turned out differently if everyone had opposed it.
근데 그게
But the executives at a meeting with the construction companies gave their consent. They must have made a deal with the construction companies.
그렇죠.
Right, because they were getting something out of this deal. Let's try to be a little bit softer.
있잖아.
You couldn't keep up your opposition to it? Was the executive's decision absolutely final? Jesus fuck. Okay, there isn't. You've seen it all along. If Sung-yeon and the executives made a decision, it had to be carried out no matter what.
그게
I did notice that.
알잖아.
I've experienced it ever since I joined the show.
그럼
There's nothing else to say about it. We're just staff members. We had no choice but to obey orders.
아시겠어요?
We were the ones who had to make things happen once a decision was made. Sei let out a sigh while staring off somewhere in the distance. The number of seats, lights, and walls are changed to suit her taste. I can't even remember the details. I hope the rescue team doesn't get confused when they arrive.
아무래도
I'm sure someone told them about the differences. If not, the construction company might have to take the blame. I just hope the rescue team is able to find their way in here. Let's talk to her about the head first.
그때
I only saw her legs at first. It was obviously pinned under the steel frames. But the head wound, I didn't see it because of her hair.
아무래도
Probably because her hair was a mess. I only saw that she had a head injury when I got close. When I got close.
그러고 보니
She was lying face down.
왜일까?
What do you think messed up her hair so badly? Heroism. She either struggled or she fell. Well, she fell because of the steel plates, right? She probably hit her head on the ground when she fell. Chu Young fell silent with a grim expression on her face.
생각해봐.
But her hair was all over the place, not just in one direction. It was as if she frantically shook her head. Yes, I'm sure she was struggling until she got hit on the head. Maybe you're right.
아시잖아요.
But you don't need to picture it in your head. I'm afraid you might. Oh, wow, okay.
아니,
Do-yoon, don't worry about me.
알아.
I'll be careful. It's just that I think I can sympathize with her when she struggled. It could happen to any of us.
도윤아.
Do-yoon, please be careful. You too. Let's get out of here safely. Okay. Wow, I am fucking up badly right now. Not seeing anything else I can really talk about here. The injury. That wound on her head must have been what killed her.
그래.
It was on the top of her head.
그래.
Right. Do you know what that means?
Huh?
What? The meaning of her injury being on the top of her head. Hye-sung nodded as if he was waiting for Do-yoon's response. It had to have been up because it's on the top. It means she was holding her head up. If she was lying on the floor with her face down, the wound should have occurred on the side or back of her head. Right, she was holding her head up. I don't want to think about it. Hye-sung licked his parched lips. Hye-sung, don't think too deeply.
괜찮아.
You only need to answer the questions when the rescue team gets here.
아니라고.
It's not as easy as it sounds. I can't just make it go away and not think about it. Hye-sung scratched the back of his ears with a pale face. The fact that she got hit on the top of her head while holding her head up, that means Sung-yeon was conscious until the last moment. I don't want to think about it either. I want to shake off these kinds of thoughts. The legs. We can talk about the legs, and we can talk about the data delivered. Her legs were stuck.
그랬었지.
She couldn't even move. Yeah. This might sound weird, but I hope she died instantly from the debris so that she wouldn't have had to suffer. Hyesung. Let's not mention that.
그런 것 같아.
I think what you said makes sense. What? Oh. Do-yoon, I have eyes. The tips of her pants under the steel frame were damaged.
그렇다니까.
She obviously tried to free herself for a while.
저기
I'm sorry. I didn't think it was a good idea to tell you.
아니라고.
Don't bother to care about me. It's not like I care about the others either. Hyesung bit his lower lip and paused for a moment. When I saw Sung-yeon, I felt like my head was going blank for a moment. But I'll have to get my head straight from now on. Get my head straight. I don't think there's proper footage. All the security cameras were placed randomly too.
그래도
But there were cameras shooting the main stage. I'm guessing they still have footage until the building collapsed. What about after the collapse? I bet they've just been pointed at the floor. Hyesung stared at the other side of the collapse site. They all look broken anyway. Let's try to be proactive at least?
그러면
Shouldn't we preserve something, like some photos of the collapse site? The rescue team will come in and see for themselves. Why would you want to take photos of this godforsaken place?
혹시
They might need some evidence for their investigation.
어?
I didn't know you were the type to plan out your future.
생각해봐.
Just look at us! Wow, okay, I am making everyone hate me. What are we, investigators or just accident survivors? Hyesung shook his watch.
그래서 뭐?
If you're suggesting I take photos with this, I refuse. And it would suck to get my watch confiscated for evidence.
그래도
But if they ask us for it, well, in that case, I would have to give it up. But hopefully it'll be okay to delete my personal photos first.
괜찮아?
Are you okay with deleting them? I can just look at the backup photos from the cloud. I'll still have access even if I delete them from the watch. I really can't relate with someone who's not using the newest model. Girl! Now is not the time. Maybe they should have called you Snob instead of Inha. Okay, so we can talk about the body, the hand. Yeah, the body and the hand. When I first saw her, I thought she was just unconscious. It didn't even seem like she suffered from any something.
그랬었지.
From any serious injuries. Same here until I got close to her. I knew I was horribly wrong after seeing her hands, legs, and her head.
그게
There were only a few pieces of small debris on her body.
아무래도
The larger pieces were actually underneath her.
진짜야?
Huh? What do you mean? The top of her body was clean, but there were debris under her? Clearly she struggled.
그게
I think it's a sign that she struggled. The debris was probably already there when she fell down, but the ones on top of her must have fallen off when she struggled. Ina's face became white as a sheet. That's probably why there weren't much debris on top of her. If I were in the same situation...
있잖아.
Inha, don't think too deeply. The collapse is over, we just need to be careful.
그런 거야?
Is that what you want to believe?
그래.
I want to, and I have to. Finally, I'm not fucking up. Okay, we have no other choice. Oh.
그거는
You said there was a wound on her hand.
그래.
Yeah, it was on the back of her hand. Why the back of her hand?
Huh?
What do you mean, why?
그게
I did some thinking after hearing about that. About why she got hurt on the back instead of the palm of her hand.
그건
Was she trying to protect her head? She must have covered her head with both hands. That explains the wound on the back of her hand.
그랬어.
There was no blood or wound on the palm of her hand. It was clean.
그래.
Right, that's exactly what I thought. You said the ends of her pants underneath the steel frame were damaged.
그러면
I think she was trying to get out.
아니었어.
That wound on the back of her hand, it wasn't a scrape or a cut. It looked as if she got hit by something.
그렇다면
Meaning she was conscious until she got hit on the head. I'm just speculating here. That's just terrifying. Okay, I got everything I can. Sheesh.
전화 다시 볼게. 잠깐만.
I'll try calling again. Hold on. Ju Young fiddled with her watch.
저기 지금 와서 할 말인가 싶은데요.
I don't know if this is an appropriate time to say this, but
피디님,
we don't have to move
되는
Sung Yun's
거겠죠?
corpse, right?
나도 이게 할 말인가 싶긴 한데
I'm not sure if this is appropriate either.
조사를 해보랬지 옮기라곤 안 했던 것 같거든.
But we were asked to just examine the body, not move it.
그러네요. 경찰
Right.
조사 받을 때 말 나올 수도 있고.
Right. Plus, the police might ask us why we moved her during the interrogation. Inha's eyes widened.
경찰? 조사? 왜? 사고잖아.
Police? And what interrogation? It was just an accident.
아니, 모든 기본적인 조사는 할 거잖아요.
Well, they'll probably ask us some basic questions regarding the accident. A dead silence fell over them.
왜? 경찰 만나면 불편한 일이라도 있냐?
Why? Any reason you want to avoid the police?
너무 펄쩍 뛰어서 나까지 같이 뜰 뻔했네.
You seem so surprised that it almost startled me as well.
머리 복잡한데. 넌 또 뭐야?
I'm already having a hard time here, don't make it worse.
나?
Oh.
서혜성이지.
Oh, really?
왜? 복잡하신 머리를 한층 더 꼬이게 만들었어?
Oh, I'm sorry, did I hit a nerve there?
지도 벌벌 떨던 주제에 갑자기 센 척하네.
Why are you acting all tough now? I remember you shaking like a leaf.
우리 세일 FD 눈빛이 막 안경 뚫고 나오겠다.
Jeez, Sale, your eyes are literally burning up.
전화 연결됐어. 조용히 해봐.
The call went through. Quiet, please.
꼴등은 말도 못해?
So I don't need the right to
한마디씩
speak
할
up.
수 있나?
Because I'm in last place, I guess you're allotted one sentence for each rank above last.
혜성아,
Hyesung.
알겠어. 잠시 다물어줄게.
Alright, I'll shut up for now. Chu Young continued her phone conversation.
그게 아니고요. 제가 직접 본 게 아니라서.
That's not what I mean. I didn't see for myself. She seemed to have difficulty while trying to explain the situation.
직접 봤던 사람이 말해야 될 것 같아.
I think they want to talk to someone who actually saw her.
제가 할게요.
I'll do it.
그래, 네가 해봐.
Okay, go ahead. Ju Young held her wrist up for Do Yoon. Do Yoon explained what he saw and heard through the phone.
끝났어요.
I'm done. Jo Young lowered her wrist and shook it lightly.
말이 길었네. 누나 팔 아프게.
That was a long conversation. Your arm must hurt.
그 정도는 아니었어.
It wasn't that bad.
따로 더 할 말이라도 있었어?
Were there other things you needed to report?
말 나온 김에 수다 떤 건 아닐 테고.
It's not like you were having a little chit chat with them. Of course it wasn't a little chat.
좀 이상하다 싶은 데가 있어서.
I just thought something was off.
이상해?
Like what?
무슨 말이에요?
What do you mean?
PD님은 머리에 콘크리트 잔해를 맞았어. 바로 찾았지.
Sung-yeon was hit in the head by a piece of concrete. We found it right next to her.
그만한 크기에 피까지 묻은 건 하나뿐이었으니까.
That was the only one with the blood stain.
대충 봐도 치명상을 입혔을 거야.
Obviously, it was the cause of the fatal injury.
그래. 주변에는 자잘한 잔해들 뿐이었고.
Yeah, the rest of the debris around her body was small.
다 아는 얘기잖아.
Everyone already knows that.
내 얘긴 지금부터.
Keep listening. I didn't get to my point yet. Let's try this. I'm hoping this is right.
잔해를 맞은 건
The debris fell on
정상이었어.
top of her head,
바로 보일 정도로
and the wound was
큰
large
상처가
enough to be
나 있었지.
noticed right away.
고개 든 상태였을 거랬지.
You said that
전까진 의식 있으셨을 거야.
she probably had her head up, meaning she was conscious until the final moment.
손등에
There was a-
상처가 있었어.
There was a wound.
손바닥은 깨끗했고
There was a wound on the back of her hand. The palm of her hand was clean.
잔해에서 머리를 감싸면서 찍혔고.
Yeah, she was trying to protect her head from the debris.
머리를 다치고 감쌌으면 손바닥에도 피가 묻었겠지.
If she had covered her head after being injured, her palm would have been bloody as well.
순서상 머리를 맞기 전에 다쳤단 말이야?
So are you implying she was already hurt before she got hit in the head?
그래, 머리를 가리는 건 의식이 있을 때 할 수 있는 일이야.
Yeah, covering your head is only possible when you're conscious.
거기에 어떤 점이 이상해?
So what's so strange about the wound?
다시 순서대로 짚어볼게.
I'll arrange the events in the right order.
무대가 무너져 철골에 다리가 깔리면서 못 움직이게 돼.
The stage collapsed and her legs got stuck under the steel frame. She couldn't move.
몸부림치다 자잘한 잔해들이 떨어지고 몸 아래 깔려.
She struggled and the debris fell under her body.
잔해에서 머리를 감싸다 손등을 다쳐.
She was wounded on the back of her hand while trying to cover her head.
머리를 들다 큰 잔해 정수리를 맞고 치명상을 입어.
She then raised her head and a large piece of debris fell on top of her head to cause the fatal injury.
그런데
이러면 큰 잔해가 2개 필요해요.
There should have been 2 large pieces of debris.
손등을 찍은 거랑 정수리에 떨어진 거.
One that hit the back of her hand and another that hit her in the head.
우리가 본 그럴 만한 잔해는 하나뿐이었어요.
But we saw only one piece of concrete that was large enough to hurt her.
잔해가 튀어올라서 다시 맞았을 리는 없고.
It's not like the piece of debris bounced back up to hit her again.
머리를 맞고 감쌌으면 손바닥이 깨끗할 수가 없네.
If she tried to cover her head with her hand after getting hit, the palm of her hand wouldn't be clean.
머리는 치명상이야. 맞고 나면 감싸고 말고도 못한다고.
Her head injury was fatal. She couldn't have covered her head after getting hit.
잔해는 하나인데 눈에 띄는 상처는 2개.
2 noticeable wounds, but only 1 piece of debris.
손등에 난
I cannot
상처
words.
스치거나 까진 건 아니고?
The wound on the back of her hand, are you sure it wasn't just a scratch?
아니 잠깐,
No, wait.
이나야 왜?
What's wrong, Inha?
전제가 틀렸을 수도 있잖아.
What if the whole premise is wrong?
손등에 난 상처 꼭 다리가 깔린 다음이라고 할 수 있어?
We can't be sure if her hand was injured after she was pinned down.
손등은 깔리기 전에 다친 거다?
Before the steel frame came down?
들어봐봐.
Listen,
무대가 무너지고 피디님이 머리를 감싼 채로 도망쳐.
Sung-yeon covered her head and ran when the stage collapsed.
그러다 다른 거에 맞고 손등에 상처가 난 거지.
That's when debris fell and wounded the back of her hand.
그리곤 철골에 다리가 깔린 거면
And then the steel frames collapsed to pin her down.
빠져나가려고 머리를 들었다가 정수리에 큰 잔해를.
She raised her head while trying to free herself, but a large piece of concrete hit her in the head.
그러면 손등은 딴 데서 다친 거지.
That would explain how she got her hand injured somewhere else.
이제 해명이 되네.
That clears it up, right?
자네가 하나인 것도 말이 되고.
It also makes sense to find only 1 piece of debris.
근데 그게
But
다른 하다 그랬다기엔 피디님 위치 거의 그대로라서요.
it's hard to assume she ran since she didn't move from the same spot I last saw her.
상처가 2개인 건 여전히 설명이 안 된다는 거야?
Does that mean you still can't explain why there are 2 wounds? There was a grave tension among the survivors.
죄송해요. 저 때문에.
I'm sorry, it's my fault. Do-yoon took a step back. Maybe she got hurt while running away, as Inha pointed out. No point in dwelling on these strange things when it was obviously an accident.
길게 매달릴 것까지는 없었는데.
It was unnecessary for me to cling on to it.
너무 고민하지 말자. 버티기 힘들어져.
Don't sweat it if you want to stay sane.
결론까지 내는 건
It's not
우리
our
몫이 아닐 거야.
It's not our job to draw any conclusion. Do-yoon nodded. But the sense of doubt still lingered. Sung-yeon was remaining in the same spot. Se-il's remark revolved around in his mind.
그렇다고 해도 조금만 더 일찍 발견했다면 어땠을까?
Still, what would have happened if we found her earlier?
구할 수 있었을지도 모르잖아.
We could have saved her.
처음엔 무대를 돌아볼 만한 상황이 아니었잖아요.
We weren't in any condition to check out the stage right after the collapse.
제가 깨어났을 때도 이쪽은 잠잠했어요.
Even when I woke up, this side was quiet.
아마 돌아가신 건 처음 무너진 때랑 거의 같았을 거예요.
I think she died when the stage first collapsed.
어차피 안 되는 일이었다.
Are you saying your death was inevitable?
꼬아서 듣지 말고 무슨 뜻인지 몰라?
Don't be sarcastic, you know what I'm talking about.
불가항력이었다고 생각해요.
I just think there was nothing we could have done.
세일이 말처럼 우리가 깨어났을 땐 늦었을 거예요.
Like Seil said, it was too late by the time we woke up.
안타까운 일이지만 바꿀 수 있는 건 없어요.
It's a tragedy, but there was nothing we could have done to save her.
불편한 얘기를 해서 미안.
Sorry for talking about something unpleasant.
우리한테도 중요한 과제가 있잖아요.
We have an important task at hand.
그래. 여길 무사히 나가는 거.
Yes, getting out of here safely.
산 사람은 살자는 얘기를 되게 꼬아서 하네.
Why are you making things so complicated? You're basically saying we survivors should get out of here alive. I sure hope he's saying that. Hyesung suddenly snorted.
좀 얼탱이가 없네.
This is absurd.
넌 뭐?
What's your problem?
으씨, 한참 조용하길래 먼저 구조된 줄 알았다.
It was so quiet that you thought she'd already been rescued.
헛소리 예정이면 잠깐 입을 닫아주는 게 어때?
I wish you'd just shut up if you're going to blabber nonsense.
급 애도 분위기인 거 이상하지 않냐?
I just think it's funny you would suddenly mourn for her.
솔직히 나 빼곤 전부 PD님 안티 아니었어?
Let's be honest, nobody liked her except me, right?
사사건건 개기고 뒷담 안 깠냐고.
You guys always went against her, talking behind her back and all that.
생전에 그런 거랑 지금이 똑같냐?
That's when she was alive! After staring at Inha for a moment, Hyesung turned his head.
PD님 장례식에 상주 서시겠어?
Ha! You would be a good chief mourner at her funeral.
나한테 하는 말이야?
Are you talking to me?
내가 누나 보고 있었어? 그럼 맞는가 보네.
Was I staring at you? Then I guess I was.
왜 그런 식으로 말하는데?
Why are you talking like that?
야! 막말 참으면 혓바닥 갈라지냐?
Why do you always have to be rude?
막말? 순수한 마음을 매도하면 안 되지.
Rude? I am innocent! Hyesung's eyes turned red. It was like Hyesung was a member of Sungyun's fan club. He never had complaints about any of her directions or instructions. Hyesung liked what Sungyun liked and hated what she hated.
쭉 PD님 편이었던 나라도 짚어줘야 될 것 같거든.
I was on her side all along, but I still think we need to get something straight. We're speaking now.
혜성아, 그런 식으로 말하면 안 돼.
Hyesung, you shouldn't talk that way.
일하는데 의견 차이가 있었던 거랑 지금 애도하는 건 다르잖아.
They had their differences while working together, but mourning is a different thing. Do-yoon unthinkingly folded his arms over his chest. He tried to suppress the aching pain in his heart.
너도 혼란스러운 거 알아. 힘들 거야.
I know you're confused. I know you're having a difficult time.
그래도 이런 식은 아무 도움이 안 돼.
But you're not helping right now.
도윤이 형,
Do-yoon. Oh, thank God.
가슴이 아파서 그래.
It's because my heart is aching.
머리도 깨질 것 같고.
I feel like my head's going to explode.
어떻게 점점 더 이러지?
Can things
어떻게?
Can things get any worse? Can they? I wouldn't go asking that if I were you. Their gaze towards Hyesung softened.
너만 슬픈 거 아니야.
We are all sad.
살아계실 때 다툰 거 사실이야. 지금 애도하는 것도 진심이고.
It's true we had our differences when she was alive, but I'm mourning her nonetheless.
믿어줬으면 좋겠어.
I hope you believe me.
누나,
Ju-young,
혜성이도 알 거예요.
Ju-young, I'm sure Hyesung knows. There was a heavy silence that lingered in the air. Some time has passed. Inha spoke up while staring at the end of her feet.
베스타 폐지되려나?
Do you think they'll discontinue Beastars?
그럴지도 모르지.
Maybe.
몇 달을 여기만 매달려 있었는데.
We spent months on this show.
WBS야. 이것도 이용해 먹으려고 할 걸?
WBS would probably take advantage of this situation.
베스타 망해가던 쇼라고.
Beastars was going downhill,
PD님이 여기까지 뛰어났는데 그냥 끝내겠어?
but the show regained its popularity thanks to Sung-yeon. I don't think they'll just throw it away.
그래서 앞으로도 계속 까불거리겠다는 거야?
So, are you going to keep acting up just like you have until now?
쇼만 이어진다면 얼마든지.
By any means, if the show can go on.
이어질지 말지는 우리가 정하는 게 아니야.
We do not get to decide whether the show continues or not.
남의 일처럼 말하네. 꼴등도 의지를 다지는데.
You are a part of the show. Even the underdog gets to exercise his rights here.
순위, 패지, 지금은 그런 게 중요한.
Ranking, cancellation of the show, that's not what's important right now.
뒤에서 두 번째도 어쨌든 꼴찌는 아니란 거지?
Oh right, you're not the one in last place, the second to last. You're rather relieved, huh?
쇼에서도 상황 궁금해하잖아. 안 끝날 거라고.
The production crew's curious about the situation too. It's not over.
잠깐!
Guys, wait.
무슨 소리 안 들려?
Can't you hear that? A roaring sound echoed around the ruin.
무너지는 거야?
Is the whole place coming down? Dust flew around when the debris fell.
다들 괜찮아?
Is everyone alright?
설마 이렇게 점점 더 위험해지는 건?
What if it gets more dangerous? Everyone's faces turned pale. It was the first tremor they had felt since finding the body. It was natural for them to feel restless.
잠깐, 지금
Wait! A large steel plate came falling down and almost crushed Yesung.
괜찮아?
Are you okay?
미친다 진짜. 와.
This is insane!
구조대 콧배기도 못 보고 뒤지는 거 아니야?
And we'll die before the rescue team arrives.
갈데 없나? 찾아봐야 되는 거 아니에요?
Shouldn't we look for some other place to stay?
아니면 구조대의 확인이라도.
Or we can ask the rescue team for advice.
난 지금 연락 안 돼. 다른 사람은?
I can't make a call right now. What about you guys?
저도 안 돼요. 혹시
Me,
방금 진동 때문에
me neither. It must be the tremor.
방금 못 봤어? 나 진짜 한 끗 차이로 살았어.
Didn't you see? I just barely escaped death.
산책한다고 치고 한 바퀴만 돌자 좀.
We should take a look around. Think of it as taking a walk.
야, 다른 데도 체크는 해두는 게 좋을 것 같은데.
Yeah, we should also check other places.
무대가 위험해질 수도 있으니까요.
The stage could be dangerous too.
더 무너지면 그나마 있던 길도 없어질지 모르잖아요.
If the stage collapses any further, whatever passages we have could be buried away.
세 사람은 저렇게 얘기하는데
So 3 people agree.
찾아보는 게 좋을까? 아니면
Do you think we should go looking or...
먼저 무대 주변부터 살펴보자.
Let's take a look around the stage first.
상황이 계속 바뀌고 있으니까.
Things could change at any moment.
바깥 지시 없이 움직여도 될까?
Will it be okay for us to move without instructions from outside?
무리수를 안 두는 선에서 길을 찾아보는 정도면
We could look for some passages as long as they're conscious.
마냥 개기는 것도 무리수라면 무리수 아니야?
I don't think sitting here and doing nothing will keep us safe either.
대비 차원이라고 생각하자.
Let's think of it as preparing for the worst.
선택지조차 없어지기 전에요.
Before we run out of options. Ju Young and Gyu Hyuk looked around silently.
그럼 조심해서 돌아보자.
Then let's all be careful.
무리해서 찾으려고 하면 안 돼.
Don't try to clear the path.
조금이라도 이상하다 싶으면 바로 말해.
You see anything strange, tell us immediately.
조심하면서 돌아보자.
You should all be careful.
그럼 토낄 데 없나? 잘 디벼보자고.
Then let's go find our escape route. The group carefully headed towards the area around the stage. The judges section. Sung-yeon's body lay behind it. She was hidden from the view of the stage. There could be another collapse here. It won't be safe. The audience area had been hit with the most damage. The ceiling had completely come down. There was an exit on each side of the audience area, but this one was completely buried. It would be hard to find anything from this side. This spot suffered less damage compared to the other side. An exit sign was dimly lit. There are some gaps where they could crawl through the wreckage. He checked the audience area but couldn't find any safe spots. He looked towards the right of the stage. The focus of Do-Yoon's attention moves from the broken steel frame to the ceiling. The side looked much worse. The steel frames completely gave way here. It was just a matter of time until this place collapsed more. There was a staff corridor to the right side of the stage. It's blocked by a pile of concrete rubble, so it seems impossible to open the door. They could also use the exit on the other side to get to the backstage area. It won't hurt to check out the other side. This was the steel frame that used to support the roof structure. The force must have been intense enough to bend the steel frame. The right side of the stage looked pretty bad. There could be additional collapse. They walked to the left of the stage. This spot has suffered less damage compared to the other side. This steel frame was the only thing holding the ceiling up. Do-Yoon looked up at the ceiling. Thanks to the steel frame, this side still remained intact. All they can do now is pray that the steel holds out until the rescue team arrives. It was a staff corridor leading to the central corridor behind the stage. It looks better than the one on the other side. What awaits behind the door is unknown, but it might be possible to get to the waiting room through this exit. After investigating the stage, the group reassembled.
좀 어땠어요?
So how did it look?
난 무대 뒤 왼쪽 통로 쪽이 괜찮아 보였어.
The left passage behind the stage looked fine.
중앙 복도로 들어가는 문 말이죠?
You mean the door to the central corridor?
잔해도 적고 문 상태도 괜찮아 보여.
There wasn't much debris. The door looked intact.
저 있던데. 열어보려고 해도 괜찮을까요?
It was closed. Do you think we could try to open it?
글쎄, 거기까진.
Well, I hadn't thought about that yet.
역시 관객석 쪽 비상구가 제일 나은 것 같네.
I guess the exit by the audience area looked like the best option.
다들 글로 탈출했다며. 우리도 가보자.
I heard everyone evacuated that exit. We should try it too.
무대 뒤 오른쪽 통로는요? 거기가 비상구랑 제일 가까워요.
What about the right passage behind the stage? Is the one closest to the exit.
문 앞이 다 무너져서 가지도 못하잖아.
The area in front of that door is a total wreck.
네가 말하는 관객석 비상구는 멀쩡하냐?
And is your precious exit by the audience area intact?
오른쪽 통로는 자네만 조금 치우면 갈 수 있어.
We just have to move some debris to make it through the right
관객석
passage.
쪽은 벌써 탈출한 사람들이 있다니까.
People have already escaped through the
이
audience area.
정도면 품질 보증 아니야?
It's a guaranteed escape route.
지금은 다 내려앉았잖아.
It's
사망 보증이지.
It's completely ruined. It's a death wish.
틈으로 수그리고 가면 될 거라니까.
We could crawl through the gap.
됐고, 난 영희 언니 말에 찬성.
Forget it. I agree with Chu-Young.
그치만 오른쪽 통로도
But the right passage is... The group's opinions were divided on the issue.
난 확신이 안 서.
I can't make up my
넌
mind.
어때?
What about you?
무대 뒤 왼쪽 통로가 좋지 않을까?
Don't you think the left passage behind the stage will be a good choice?
관객석 쪽 비상구는 벌써 탈출구로 쓰였다니까.
I told you the exit by the audience area was already used as an escape route.
무대 뒤 오른쪽 통로가 비상구에서 제일 가깝다고요.
I told you the right passage behind the stage is closest to the exit. Do-Yoon was also there when they took a look around the stage, which would be the most safe and suitable place. I guess our choice should be... I'm gonna go the left. I'm gonna say
무대 뒤 왼쪽 통로 같아.
the left passage behind the stage.
누나 말대로 문 상태도 멀쩡하고 주변에 잔해도 적으니까.
Like Chu-Young said, there's only a little amount of debris and the door looks intact.
말이 맞아.
Couldn't agree more with Do-yoon.
일단은 제일 멀쩡해 보이는 데를 확인해야 돼.
We need to check the route which seems the most intact.
문을 열더라도 아니 괜찮을지.
But would it be safe to go in after opening the door?
겉보기에도 위험한데 가는 것보다는 나을 거야.
I think it's better than taking seemingly risky routes.
이런 상황에선 안전빵으로 가야지.
We need to play it safe.
저쪽이 비상구랑 가까운데.
That way is closer to the exit.
검증된 탈출구를 쌩 깐다고?
Are you going to desert the proven escape route?
결과에 승복들 합시다. 베스타 출연진답게.
You're a B-Stars contestant, so accept your loss. The group headed towards the left passage behind the stage as Chu Young suggested.
문 열어볼게요.
Okay, let me open the door.
혹시 모르니까
We'll
같이
do it.
하자.
We'll do it together just in case. The door suddenly flung open. Suddenly, the place began to shake again. Ugh, why now? What is it?
관객석 쪽이에요. 또 무너졌나 봐요.
The audience area it collapsed again.
저기 반대편도 그래.
The same thing happened to the door on the other side. A cloud of debris came falling down in the audience area suggested by Hyesung and the right passage suggested by Seil. If we had gone that way, Do-yoon shuddered at the thought.
여긴 멀쩡해. 벽이 지탱해 준 건가?
But this place is intact. The walls are still supporting it, I guess.
다행이야. 큰일 날 뻔했어.
Oh god, that was a close call.
상대적으로 멀쩡한 이유가 있었네.
Now I see why this place is relatively intact. Seil raised his hand.
여기 다 같이 들어가요?
Do we all go in at the same time?
갑자기 뭔 소리야?
What do you mean?
몰려갔다가 갇히기라도 하면 그것도 문제니까.
If we all go in at the same time and get trapped, we could have a big problem.
나눠서 들어가자고?
Then what? Split the group?
복도팀 무대팀 쪼갤 거면 난 무조건 복도팀이야.
If it's a corridor versus the stage, I'm going to the corridor no matter what. Hyesung stared at the wreckage of the audience area. The rest of the group also surveyed the surroundings.
저 꼴을 보고 있으니
That
보긴 해야겠어.
kind of tells me that I should go inside.
가서 길이 없으면 결국 여기로 돌아오는 일만 남아.
If there's no path when we get there, we have no choice but to come back here.
무대가 그렇게 좋으면 개기고 있던가.
If you like the stage so much, you can just stay there. Seil cleared his throat.
의견을 말해본 거예요.
It was just a thought. Seil was going to take the lead, but he changed his mind and backed off.
그럼 들어가시죠.
Well, shall we go in?
육갑을 떤다. 나 먼저 가.
Lousy ass. I'm going first. Hyesung confidently walked toward the door. Seil, now left behind, bit his lip nervously.
다 죽는 길을 찍어놓고선
He chose the path leading to death for us.
세일아,
Seil, let's go.
네.
Yes.
개 살벌하네.
It's so creepy.
무대보다 훨씬 컴컴해.
It's darker here than on the stage.
머리랑 발 조심해.
Watch your step and protect your head.
워치로 후레쉬 같은 건 안 돼요?
Is there a flashlight on the watch?
이게 만능인 줄 아냐?
Do you think this watch has everything?
손전등 기능은 없어. 가져다 대면 조금 밝아지는 정도야.
There's no flashlight on my watch, although it'll shed some light if I hold it close enough. Do-yoon put the watch closer to the dark area.
진짜 택도 없네요.
It's no use.
조심하는 수밖에 없어.
We need to be cautious.
통로나 멀쩡한 데가 있나 찾아보자.
Let's see if there's a passage or intact area.
너무 오버하진 말자고. 분위기 이상하면 바로 콜.
Don't take any risks. Call me right away if something
길
doesn't feel
파악되면
right.
대충 수첩에 그려볼게요.
After I find the passage, I'll draw it in my notebook. The group carefully moved.
확실하게 막혔네. 이 뒤가 출구였지?
It's completely blocked. Behind it was the exit, right?
나가서 긴 복도 하나 더 있죠. 거기도 무너졌겠네요.
There's another long corridor outside. It must have collapsed too.
뒤로 나가는 다른 길은 없어?
Is there any other way out from the back?
내 기억엔 없네.
Not that I know of.
여기가 유일한 출구예요. 확실해요.
This is the only exit, I'm sure of it. Do-yoon stepped on the debris and tried to move the door. The door didn't budge as if the back was completely blocked as well. Not gonna work.
그럼 어쩔 수 없...
Then we have no choice but to...
이나야, 괜찮아?
Inha, are you okay?
문 앞에 오니까 공기가 좀 매캐한데?
Ugh! Now that I'm standing before the door, there's an acrid smell.
여긴 더 볼 것도 없어.
Let's skip this place. We don't even have to look.
스텝 휴게실 사실 두 번째 분장실이죠.
The staff lounge. It was more like another dressing room.
실제로는 출연자들이 썼으니까.
It was indeed used by the contestants rather than the staff.
공간 설계부터 틀렸잖아. 분장실 너무 좁아 터졌으니까.
They messed up the floor plan. The dressing room was just too
밀려난
small.
스텝들은 안쪽 복도에 구겨져서 대기 탔고요.
The staff had to wait in the corner of the corridor.
억울하면 출연자 하시던가.
Stop complaining. Why didn't you become one of the contestants then? Okay, delusion.
내가 말을 말아야지.
Just forget what I said. Let me open it.
열어볼게요. 안 열리는데?
I can't open it.
힘의 가리 없이 하면 돼?
You need to,
좀 비켜봐.
you need to try harder. Step aside. Let me do it. They could see a pile of debris through the crack in the door.
무너졌네, 여긴.
This place is ruined.
문이 천장을 떠받치는 상태인지도 몰라.
The door might be supporting the ceiling,
그냥 두는 게 좋겠어.
so we better leave this place alone.
남자 화장실?
The men's restroom.
영 찝찝한데?
Something feels funny.
죽자 사자 하는 판에 찝찝하고 말고가 어딨냐?
Who cares how you feel? We're in a life or death situation here.
여자 화장실만 들어가지는 상황이었어도 그럴래?
Would you say the same thing if the women's restroom was the only place we could go?
당연하지. 살려면 뭔들 못하냐?
Of course, if that's what it takes to survive.
하여간 말 참 예쁘게 한다.
You sound so pretty.
말만 예쁘게 하냐? 생긴 것도 예쁘지.
Yep, I know. I sound pretty, just like my face.
물이 필요해질지도 몰라.
We might need some water.
구조가 늦어지면 갈증 날 수도 있으니까요.
If the rescue gets delayed, we might get thirsty.
일단 확인해 보자.
Let's check first.
오케이, 한번 가보자고.
Okay, let the search begin.
거울이 깨졌어요. 어딘가 무게를 받치고 있다는 거죠.
The mirror is broken, which means it was supporting something.
수도꼭지도 고장났어. 고인물이라면 쓸 수 있겠지만.
The faucet is broken too, although we might be able to use the water from that puddle.
솔직히 말해서 그닥 안전해 보이진 않네.
To be honest, this place doesn't look safe.
장기적으로 괜찮다고 보긴 힘들겠어.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this place would last for long. The rest of the group surveyed the area as well.
나가는 게 좋겠어.
We need to get out of here.
헛탕이네. 쌀 때라도 있으니 다행인가.
Well, that was a waste of time. At least we have a place to take a dump.
말 막 싸지 마라.
Could you please not dump out words like that?
싸다고 한 대 맞을래?
Do you want me to slap your face instead?
싸가지 조금 챙길래?
Did you dump out your manners instead?
저기 그만!
Guys, stop.
세 분 헛소리 그만하고 나오세요.
All three of you, please stop the nonsense and get out of there.
안 했는데.
I didn't say anything.
어쨌든 나오세요.
Anyway, get out of there.
장애인 화장실이야. 겨우 한 칸짜린데.
The restroom for the disabled. There's only one stall.
다 낑겨 들어가야 할 판이네.
We can barely crawl in.
그나마도 안 열려. 꽝이네.
It won't even open. It's a bust.
근데 이제서야 생각나는 건데
By the way, come to think of it,
장애인 화장실 문은 자동문 아니었어?
the door of the restroom for the disabled, shouldn't it be automatic?
사실 구색만 맞춘 거예요.
The result of shoddy construction.
필수 설비 중에 하나라 그래서 막 공사한 거죠.
It was a required facility, such slapdash construction.
이 정도로 날림 공사를.
They cut corners to meet the deadline.
됐고 여긴 버리자.
Take this place off the list.
분장실이야. 문짝은 그나마
열릴지도 모르겠어요.
The dressing room, at least the door looks intact. We might be able to get it open. Seil slowly turned the doorknob. The door opened with a creak.
이게 출구면 대박이었는데.
I wish this was the
힘
exit.
빼는 소린 넣어둬.
You're such a party
안을
pooper.
확인해보죠.
Let's look inside.
오케이 들어간다.
Okay, I'm going in.
깜짝이야. 으이씨.
Oh my god, what the?
마네킹 한두 번 봐? 뭐 시겁하고 그래.
Scared, you've never seen a mannequin before.
허연 게 떡하고 있잖아.
It appeared out of the darkness.
지도 펄쩍 뛰어놓고 내가 못 본 줄 아냐?
I know you were scared too, I saw your face, you know. Inha walked right past Yesung, who was still fuming with anger.
상태는 그럭저럭 괜찮아 보이는데
It looks passable.
여기서 버티면 어때?
Why don't we set up camp here? The group surveyed the room.
좁은 방에 있다 무너지면 더 심각해질 수도 있어.
We could be in bigger trouble if we get trapped in a small room and another collapse occurs.
천장이 더 내려앉으면 문이 안 열릴지도 모르고.
If the ceiling comes down any lower, the door might get stuck.
벽 위쪽 갈라져 있어.
Oh, there's a crack on top of the wall.
아무래도 무리수였나 보네.
I guess we went too far.
아, 뭐 건물을 이따위로 지어놨어.
This building is pathetic.
제일 안전한 건 무대였다는 결론이 날지도 모르겠네.
Maybe the stage is the safest place after all.
갈 데가 없으면 그렇게 되겠죠.
Unless we have any other options.
더 볼 거 없으면 나가자고.
Let's get out of here if there isn't anything else to see.
여자 화장실 딱 봐도 무너졌어요.
The women's restroom, it's destroyed.
문이라도 열리나 봐봐.
See if you can at least open the door. Nope.
보시다시피네.
As you can see,
문이 이 정도면 피하는 게 나아.
we ought to avoid the place considering the
아예 안
condition of
움직여?
the door. It won't even budge.
궁금하면 땡겨봐. 너무 세게 하진 말고.
Pull it if you're curious, not too hard though.
자, 방 나왔지?
See, we can go now.
그래, 여긴 안 되겠어.
Right, this place won't work.
여기 분장실 뒤로 돌아가는 문이지?
Is this the door leading to the back of the dressing room?
맞아요. 스탭들이 중앙복도를 피해서 다닐 때 쓰던 길이죠.
Right, it's a passage used by the staff to bypass the central
좁은
corridor.
데다가 창고 대용으로도 써서 지저분할 거예요.
It's small, messy, and dirty since we also use it to
그래도
store some things.
확인은 해보자.
We should check it anyway. The door easily flung open.
스탭들은 왜 중앙복도를 두고 여기로 다닌 거야?
Why did the staff use a different way instead of using the central corridor?
거치적거리니까 그렇지.
Because they would get in the way.
복도 찍는 그림에 스텝이 걸리잖아.
It's not pretty if the staff members are seen in the corridor on TV.
출연자 서혜성님께서 잘 설명해 주셨네요.
That was an excellent explanation, dear contestant.
심했네.
That was a bit too much.
저런 거 일일이 따지기 시작하면 끝도 없어요.
Let's not even get into details.
출연자는 휘둘리는 정도지만 스텝은 아예 쓰고 버리는 말이었어요.
Contestants are like the important chess pieces, but staff members are just mere pawns.
어쨌든 복도나 확인해 보자고요.
Anyhow, let's check the corridor.
가보자.
Yeah, let's go.
미리 듣긴 했지만 정말 좁아 터졌네.
I know I was warned about it already, but this place is darn narrow.
평소에도 스텝들끼리 스텝이 꼬이고 그랬어요.
So narrow that the staff used to step on one another.
말장난이 나오냐?
Was that supposed to be funny?
넌 가엾지도 않냐? 그 많은 스텝들이 요만한 복도에서 뛰어다녔다는 게.
Don't you feel sorry for the staff? Imagine all those staff members running around in this narrow corridor.
글쎄다. 억울하면 출세해야지.
If you are so unhappy, why don't you become successful?
하기야 무대보다 먼저 네 개념이 무너졌지.
It goes to show how irrational you are.
네 시건방진 꼬라지를 보는 내 억장도 무너지는데?
Nope, it goes to show how cocky you are.
혜성아, 거기까지 해.
Hyesung, that's enough.
네네 2등 말씀이신데 침묵해야죠.
Of course, second place has spoken.
여긴 문이 몇 개야?
How many doors are there?
4개요.
There are 4.
들어온 문 빼고 볼만한 건 분장실 뒷문, 중앙복도 출구 쪽 문 정도예요.
Other than the door we just used, the rear door of the dressing room and the entrance door of the central corridor exit should be worth checking out.
남은 하나는?
What about the last one?
스텝 대기실 문인데 아까 보신 것처럼 거긴 무너져서요.
It's the staff lounge door, but as you've seen, it's damaged. The group walked toward the door in front of them.
이게 분장실 뒷문이지?
Is this the rear door of the dressing room?
열어볼게요.
I'll open it. Do-yoon turned the doorknob, but the door did not open.
잠겼나?
Is it locked?
잠시만요.
Hold on a second.
문이 천장을 떠받치는 것 같아요.
The door seems to be supporting the ceiling. He turned it harder, but nothing happened.
그런 거면
Then we
무리해서 열 필요 없어.
Then we shouldn't try to open it.
열어봤자 결국 분장실로 통하는 거잖아.
Even if we open it, it'll lead to the dressing room anyway.
그래, 여긴 그냥 두자.
Right, let's skip this place for now. Do-yoon stepped back from the door.
다음은 안쪽, 중앙복도 출구 쪽 문이야.
Next one is deeper inside, the one by the exit of the central corridor.
진장!
Ah, damn.
발 조심해.
Watch your step.
벌써 걸렸거든요?
I tripped already, you know.
이 문은 정확히 어디로 연결돼?
Where does this door lead to exactly?
중앙복도 끝이요. 무너져 있던데.
The end of the central corridor, which was collapsed.
열어도 출구 따위는 없겠네?
Then there will be no exit even if we manage to open it, right?
열리는지만 확인해 볼게.
I'll just go check it if it opens. The door opened outward, but the debris stopped it from opening it any further.
종이장만큼 열리네.
The door only slightly opened.
나가봐야 중앙복도 끝이에요.
It doesn't
큰
really
의미는 없어요.
doesn't really matter because it leads to the end of the central corridor.
그럼
Then we are
여기
done
끝인가?
here, aren't we?
나가자.
Let's get out of here.
다 둘러본 것 같아.
I think we took a good look.
우리한테 있는 선택지가 뭐였죠?
So what options do we have?
크게 두 개야. 무대로 돌아가거나 여기
이-
어디 머무르거나.
Either we go back to the stage or stay here somewhere.
여기라면 지금 있는 중앙복도랑 분장실, 스텝복도, 남자 화장실 정도네요.
If we decide to stay somewhere here, it's gonna be central corridor, dressing room, staff corridor, or men's restroom.
라인업 완전 별로네.
I don't like any of them.
무대로 뺏고 하기도 거시기한데.
But I don't feel like going back to the stage either.
조명 좀 살아있는 데로 가는 게 좋지 않겠어?
Don't you think we should choose a place where there's some light?
그런 데는 화장실, 분장실, 스텝 복도야.
That's the restroom, dressing room, and staff corridor.
그나마 화장실?
I guess the restroom is better than the others?
그나마는 무슨 그나마야.
Are you out of your mind?
거울 깨진 거 못 봤어? 거기 벽 천장을 버티고 있다고.
Didn't you see the broken mirror? That wall is supporting the
천장
ceiling.
무게는 어디든 다 버티는 중이지.
The ceiling weight has to be supported anywhere you go.
문도 하나야. 갇혀버릴지도 몰라.
And there's only one door, we could get trapped.
문 하나인 것도 다 똑같잖아.
Well, they all have one door.
분장실은 앞뒤로 문이 두 개긴 한데
The dressing room is two, one in the front and another in the back.
공간도 넉넉한 편이고요.
It's got some space too.
다른 데 비하면 넓어 보이지.
Well, compared to the other rooms.
벽에 금 같잖아. 거기도 천장 버틴다고 할딱거리는 중이지.
The wall has cracks. That place is barely supporting the
뒷문은
ceiling.
열리지도 않았어. 문은 한 개나 마찬가지야.
The rear door is not even open, so there's practically one door there.
다 아닌 거면 무대로 돌아가는 쪽에 한 표 던질게요.
If nothing works, I say we go back to the stage.
차라리 트윈 쪽이 나을 것 같거든요.
The stage is an open place at least.
스텝 복도는 안 되나?
What about the staff corridor now?
문 3개잖아. 물론 2개는 못 쓰지만.
It's got 3 doors, although 2 of them are
야,
useless.
그럼 문 한 개지.
Then it's one door.
좁아 터진데 한 줄로 앉아서 도라도 닦자고?
What do you want to do? Sit in the line and meditate?
내가 언제 거기가 짱이랬냐?
I'm not saying we must choose the staff
그리고
corridor.
좁든 말든 무슨 상관이야. 넌 어차피 페이터나 조질 거면서.
It says, what did you care about the room size? You'll be busy playing fatter anyway.
나도 너무 좁은 데는 별로야.
Actually, I'm a bit claustrophobic myself.
계속 애쓰는 중이긴 한데 너무 좁은 데는 가슴이 답답해서.
I'm trying to get better, but I can barely breathe in a confined space.
차라리 여기 중앙 복도에 있는 것?
How about staying here in the central corridor?
어둡긴 하지만 아예 안 보이는 건 아니잖아.
It's dark, but we can still see.
상황 봐서 분장실이든 무대든 가면 되고.
If something happens, we can go to the dressing room or stage.
전 와서 보니까 무대가 제일 나은 것 같아요.
I looked around and I think the stage is best.
바깥에서도 다른 데로 피해 있으란 말은 안 했고
The rest of you didn't say anything about evacuating to another place.
복도 끝은 벌써 무너졌어요. 언제 더 무너져도 이상할 게 없고요.
The end of this quarter is collapsed already, and the rest could collapse at any minute.
결국 제일 안정적인 건 무대 아닐까요?
Overall, I think the stage is the least risky.
그치만 무대로 돌아가면
But if we go back to the stage, that's where...
그래, 무대는
Yeah, the stage is where... Sung-Yeon's body was in the stage area. The two of them didn't finish their sentences, but everyone knew what they were going to say.
무대 쪽 공간은 아직 여유가 있어요.
The stage still has enough space.
심사위원석 쪽으로는 안 가도 될 거예요.
We wouldn't have to go to the judges section. The conversation ended by listening to each other's different opinions.
안전하게 버티는 게 목표인데.
The goal is to stay
그냥
safe.
각자 원하는 대로 찢어져?
Should we all just split up?
개인 플레이는 넣어둬.
We need to stick
같이 다니자고.
We need to stick together.
한도윤, 너는 뭐 할 말 없어?
Doyun, don't you have anything to say?
어쩌는 게 좋을 것 같아?
What do you want to do, Doyun?
내 생각은
Oh. I'm gonna go with the stage as well here.
무대로 돌아가는 편이 낫겠어.
We'd better go back to the stage. Hugh can say he also nodded.
나도 그게 제일 나아 보여.
I think that's the best option.
구관이 명관이란 결론이네요.
Better the devil you know than the devil you don't know, huh?
결국 이렇게 되는 건가?
So is that it?
돌아본 결과가 이거니까.
This is what we came up with.
진정 한참 삽질했네.
Shoot, I've been wasting my time.
주변을 파악했다는데 의미를 두자.
We're aware of our surroundings at least.
그래. 어느 정도 멀쩡해 보이는데도 찾았으니까.
Yeah, we also found some passable places too.
어쩔 수 없이 움직여야 될 땐 선택지가 될 거야.
When we have no choice but to move, they will be our options. Ju Young nodded with a worried look on her face. A sudden, loud sound roared through the corridor. The ground shook for a moment and dust fell from the ceiling. The group slowly took a look around.
큰일 터지기 전에 돌아가야겠어.
We need to go back before something
돌아
happens.
빠꾸야?
Back to where it all
제대로 했네.
back to where it all began. What a waste of time.
떠날 때보다 조금 더 무너진 것 같아.
It looked worse than when we left it.
복도에 있을 때 흔들린 것 때문인가?
Is it because of the tremor that occurred when we were in the corridor?
지금 보면 여긴 피할 구석이라도 있어.
Now that I look at it, this place at least has some spots for us to stay safe.
돌고 돌아 원이 치네 진짜.
Jeez, back to square one.
여기 상태 구조대에게 말해야 될까?
Should we tell the rescue team about the situation here?
내가 걸어볼게.
I'll try to make a call. Inha called the rescue team and the group quietly listened in. Every time there was a noise, Inha frowned.
아이, 귀 째지겠네.
My eardrums are about to pop.
됐고 뭐래?
Just tell us what you heard.
상황은 알겠다고 그러네.
They get the situation.
스테이지에서 기다려달래. 딴 데 돌지 말고.
Told us to wait on the stage and avoid other places.
여기라고 대단히 안전한 건 아닌데.
But it's not that safe here either.
좁은 데 있는 쪽이 더 위험하단 뜻이겠지.
They're probably saying that it's more dangerous to stay in a small space.
일단 시키는 대로 하자. 딴 방법이 없어.
For now, we don't have any choice but to follow their instructions. Their nervous gaze wandered around the stage.
그저 페이터가 나긴 해.
Fatter is the only good thing I've left now.
왜? 또 뭐라고 싸질러 놓게?
Why? What are you going to post this time?
내 똥 내가 싸는데 무슨 상관이세요?
Who cares what I post? Better save the battery.
혜성아, 배터리를 아껴둬.
Hyesung, we might need the battery power for later.
뭐? 배터리?
What? Battery?
이것 좀 하는 걸로 배터리 안 닳거든?
This has nothing to do with the battery, okay?
페이터까지 하라 말아야.
You're not going to stop me from using fatter.
내가 뭔 사이코라서 이거 보고 있는 줄 알아?
It's not like I'm a psychopath.
나도 초조해서 그래. 후달린다고.
I'm nervous too, you know.
그런 뜻으로 한 말이 아니잖아. 진정해.
Nobody meant that. Calm down.
다들 아무것도 모르면서
You don't know anything.
피디님이 그렇게
How could Sung-yeon be... Hyesung suddenly fell silent while looking at his watch.
왜 그래?
What's the matter with you?
혜성아,
Are you okay,
괜찮아?
Hyesung?
뭐 이상한 거라도 봤어?
Did you find something? Hyesung raised his head, his eyes red.
미친놈 하나가 튀어나왔어.
There's a wacko on Fatter. Oh. There's always a wacko on Fatters. Hyesung, you of all people should know this by now.
또 페이터 얘기냐?
아, 좀.
Talking about Fatter again, would you please?
넌 빠져. 알지도 못하면.
Get off my case, you don't know anything.
개 황당한 놈이 나왔다니까?
I'm telling you, this person's lost their mind.
왜? 뭐길래 그래?
What? Who are you talking about?
누구 얘긴지 알겠네. 나도 지금 봤어.
I know who you're talking about, I just saw them too. Do-yoon also raised his watch and checked Fatter. Hello, I'm Sung-Yun Shin, the chief producer of Beastars, rest assured. I'm already dead, and the top 5 contestants trapped there will be dead in no time. The 5 contestants deceived you from the start, and now all of them are preparing for the finals. We must make them pay for what they have done.
이게 뭐야?
What is this?
공유수 봐. 뒷골 잡는다.
Just look at the number of shares, it's crazy.
이게 뭐라고 공유까지?
Carpe diem, I just noticed that. What's the big deal? Why is everyone sharing this?
재밌어 죽겠다는 거겠지.
They're just having so much fun. What a crazy.
공유가 전부 동의한다는 뜻은 아니지?
Sharing it doesn't mean they all agree with that wacko, right?
맞아. 비난하는 뜻도 있을 거고 제각각이겠지?
Right. People share posts for all kinds of different reasons.
어쨌든 공유하는 자체가 퍼뜨리는 거라고.
But sharing it contributes to spreading false rumors.
글 올린 계정 프로필 사진도 따로 없어.
That wacko's account doesn't even have a profile photo.
하나 새로 팠겠지. 개소리 씨부리겠다고.
It must have been recently created with the intention of spreading fake news.
닉네임 말곤 정보도 없어. 익명 계정이야.
This person's username is all we got. It's an anonymous account.
저런 거 꼬이는데 너무 마음 쓰지 마세요.
Don't worry about the wacko.
머리만 아파질 뿐이라고요.
It'll just give you a headache.
다들 그럴 만한 위치시잖아요.
Any of you can become the target. Seil shrugged his shoulders after a brief stare.
베스타 시청률 아시면서 얼굴도 이름도 다 팔렸는데
You are competing in a popular show, Beastars. People know your name and face.
이제 길 가면 지나다니는 일반인은 아니잖아요.
You are not an ordinary person anymore.
아직 정식 데뷔 안 했고 소속사 케어 같은 것도 없지만
Although you don't even have an agency or made an official debut. Seil stared at Inha.
재능과 매력을 세상에 알렸든가
You might have already proven your talent and charm to the world.
인성 개차반이지만 운빨 인맥발 죽이는
Or you could be a complete jerk who just has insane connections and luck.
말하면서 뭘 야려?
Why the hell are you looking at me? Hyesung and Seil's eyes met. Seil looked away.
아무튼 준 연예인 그러니까 유명인이시잖아요.
Anyways, you guys are what they might call celebrities.
관심, 질시, 응원, 비난 반응은 제각각이죠.
But people's response to a celebrity can take a range of forms such as interest, jealousy, support, or criticism.
유명인 좋지. 좋은데
What's not to like about celebrity?
이 상황에 젖된 소리까지 들어야 돼?
But how can they say that under these circumstances? Do we not respond or do we... I mean, that's the thing. It is factual that she's dead, so we're not gonna respond.
대응 안 하는 게 좋겠지.
We ought to ignore them.
무시가 답일 거야. 관심 주면 더 날뛸 거라고.
You show any interest, they'll go ape.
도윤이 형 말이 맞아요.
Do-yoon is right.
페이터 루머 잘못 건드리면 더 불탄다고요.
If you mess with the fatter rumor, things can get out of control.
죽은 사람 사칭해서 관심을 두거라는데 심지어 진짜 관심까지 받아. 그걸 냅두라고?
That wacko is getting attention by is wanting attention by impersonating a dead person, and they are actually getting that much attention. How can I ignore them?
PD님 돌아가신 얘기는 우리랑 제작진
Only the-
그때만 알아.
Only the production crew, rescue team, and us contestants are aware of her death.
그래서 하고 싶은 말이 뭔데?
So what's your point?
아무 말이나 하는 거지. 우리 보라고.
They are just saying whatever to provoke
사고가
us.
터지고 피디님은 실종으로 떴으니까.
Because Sung-yeon had gone missing after this accident.
죽은 사람을 사칭할 의도는 아니야. 모르니까.
They are not trying to impersonate a dead person because they don't know about her death.
대꾸하면 공유수만 늘어나겠지.
If we respond, the number of shares will only increase. Gyu-hyuk sadly looked at Do-yoon.
공유수에 미쳐서 아무 소리나 떠드는 계정 널렸어요.
There are accounts everywhere trying to increase the number of shares.
되는 대로 지르다 스툴리면 계정 폭파하고 튀는 애들이라고요.
They just blabber nonsense on the web, but when things get out of hand, they just delete the account and disappear.
일일이 휘둘리면 안 되는 거 아시잖아요.
You know you shouldn't let them get to you.
왜 하필 닉이 S승연이냐고.
But why choose the username S_Sungyeon?
굳이 PD님을
Why Sungyeon Shin's name?
뭔 억하심정이라도 있는
Is
건가?
S_Sungyeon holding a grudge against Sungyeon?
그러고 보니까
I just remembered something.
피디님 이상한 편지 받았었어.
One time, Sungyeon received a strange letter.
이번 촬영 전이었을 거야.
She received it before shooting this episode.
얘기가 갑자기 그런 쪽으로 튀냐?
What's that got to do with this wacko?
하필 닉을 저렇게 쓰니까 생각난 거지.
It just sprang to mind because of their username. They didn't react on Fatter, but the atmosphere didn't die out. They tried to ignore it, but their eyes were fixed on their watches. They felt restless, stuck at the site of the collapse. They wanted to connect with the outside world somehow. But it was chaotic out there, too.
데이터 싸움 나는 분위기인데?
Looks like a war's going to break out on Fatter. Without thinking too much, Do-yoon looked at his watch. Wow, a new troll has arrived, but it's extremely unconvincing telling why that someone still alive has died, lol. I saved your post just in case and reported them to the broadcasting station. Just wait to be sued, lol.
밖에서 볼 때도 황당하겠지.
People out there must be as confused as we are.
역시 공유수가 전부 공감한다는 뜻은 아니었어.
So I guess the number of shares doesn't mean they all agree.
뻘소리에 놀아나고 싶은 사람이 있겠어.
Who would want to get swayed by nonsense? Everyone, look forward to it. The show's not over yet. From now on, the real survival audition will begin. Now I'll introduce the top 5 members to participate in the survival audition.
다시 소개 좋아하네. 또 뭔 미친 소리를 짓거리려고?
Introductions again? What are they going to babble about this time? 5th place, Hye-sung-sa. I gave him a lot of support as he has good looks, but he has deluded himself into thinking that he is really good.
이 새끼가.
What a jerk! I did everything I could to push Hye-sung up in the ranking. I got involved in the editing process and pressured the judges. People say that birds of a feather flock together and that we were similar. That's bullshit. Don't compare me with such a talentless kid.
사람 아주 개털로 하네.
This wacko must be thinking of a doormat. 4th place, Do Yoon-han. He left the band and gained a lot of popularity, but at the same time, he seemed to suffer from people calling him a betrayer. Do you think Do-yoon and Masquerade were so close to each other that I did a great job editing? He called it a false accusation that he was a betrayer, and some fans really believed him. If he thought it was unfair, he should have explained himself or resigned. He is just waiting for the controversy to blow over, but he should act more aggressively to go up in the ranking. 3rd place, In Ha-oh, a cute girl. She has so much talent when compared to Hye-sung. Aren't you curious how this talented girl came out of nowhere?
설마
Could this be? She hasn't talked about her past on TV yet, but many people that's part of her mysterious concept. Do you think she didn't want to or that she couldn't talk about it? What's she really like when not on stage?
아무래도 좀 이상한데?
Something feels weird. 1st place is, as always, Gyu-hyuk Lee. He was born into a rich family, inherited excellent musical talent, and received a good education from his parents. A man truly born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He has a talent and works really hard. He received a scholarship from his university. How likely is that for a rich student to get a scholarship intended for low-income students? I really respect him for his elaborate effort to make the best out of nothing, which includes stealing a precious opportunity from someone else, so another student couldn't receive the scholarship, but that was because they hadn't done their best, right?
가로챘다고?
Stealing? And here we are with Ju-young. What do you know about her? Remember Beloved, her own team that she destroyed? Or a panic attack that occurred when her luck was down, gaining her a lot of sympathy votes?
동정표?
Sympathy vote? After she left the group, Ju-young spent her free time working in a cafe as a barista. But just in case you didn't know, coffee is well known to aggravate panic attacks and depression. Her first panic attack occurred when she left her group, but she didn't have any while she was serving coffee as a barista. Then it came back on stage when she was in trouble. Interesting. That's about it. This wraps up today's introduction of the top 5 contestants. Please look forward to seeing the real survival show and don't forget to vote. The top 5 contestants showing no remorse and are talking mindlessly without knowing they are trapped there for punishment. They left me to die, but they will pretend as if nothing bad happened after they are rescued and continue to deceive their fans. I'm sorry, but I won't let it happen. You will pay for what you have done. I'm always with you. Even right now, I'm watching every one of you.
대가를 치른다고?
Make us pay?
어디서 이따위
How
소리를
dare they say such a thing?
마음대로
They're just
떠들다가
running their
가는
mouth.
거야.
닥치고 있을 때가 아닌데 이건.
We have to do something about this troll. Hye-sung gritted his teeth, but his face was pale.
빠져나간 거야, 뭔가가.
Something must have leaked.
뒷조사했다는 루머 있었잖아. 그런 게 빠져나가서
There had to have been a rumor about background checks. Our personal info could have been leaked.
달달 떨기는 캥기는 데 있어?
Why are you shivering? Do you feel guilty about something?
왜? 너도 전과 달았어?
Like a criminal charge or something. Inha's eyes widened.
말 조심해. 범죄자 주제.
Watch your mouth. You're the criminal.
개정색이네. 정답 인정이냐?
Don't lose your nerves. Did I get it right?
자,
Shut up!
잠깐만요.
Wait!
스텝이랑 관련자도 비밀 유지 대상이에요.
The staff members and officials are also subject to confidentiality agreements.
떠들다 걸리면 소송감이라고요.
We could get sued for spreading rumors.
스텝은 입이 있어도 없는 거예요. 진짜로요.
The staff would surely keep their mouths shut at all times. I'm serious.
S승연글 모호하지만 그럴싸해 보이게 썼어.
S_Sungyeon's posts were vague but plausible.
느낌이 이상해. 불길하고.
Something feels strange and eerie.
아무것도 모르면서 대충 쓰는 게
Are you sure S_Sungyeon doesn't know anything about us? S_Sungyeon is an anonymous Fatter account which appeared out of nowhere. The user behind the account was getting lots of shares and influencing the Fatter community with offensive remarks. Stories about the contestants that were embarrassing for all of them. There were stories that even contestants like Do Yoon weren't aware of. Feeling discouraged, Do Yoon looked towards the rest of the group. Their blank complexions gave away nothing. Were they feeling perplexed by the unexpected exposure of their pasts? Or were they frustrated about the lies spreading through the internet?
마냥 당황하고 있을 때가 아니야.
Not a good time to just sit around.
이야기해보지 않으면
Things will get worse if we don't talk about this. Do Yoon bit his lower lip. Alright, we're gonna go on Fatter. So I guess some people still believe me. This. Oh my god. Well, Ju-young chose that there's a panic attack to show many people suspected her of faking it to win sympathy votes, but that looks pretty fucking real to me. S_Sungyeon pointed that Ju-young enjoyed coffee as a barista after leaving her group. They didn't forget to point out that coffee and mixed panic attacks didn't mix well. Yu Hyuk had apparently unfairly taken away the scholarship acquisition from a needy student. The staff clearly did not reveal Inha's past for whatever reason. Let's ask. Then he might have heard something. If there's some truth to Sungyeon's story, things could get worse. All the audience saw him so spaced out and lazy after that accident occurred during the finals. I find it so funny to act like he's warning Sun Yun so seriously now. He looks so cute here. Sun Yun had favored Hyesung. We kind of knew it. The company seems to be more concerned with the timing of when to resume the show that they didn't even take control of the situation. Some criticize them for that, while some seem to understand them. The list of staff members who was working at the time of the accident wasn't finalized yet. It will take some time to identify who's still missing. The rescue team got the list of stage audience and is now counting the number of survivors. Right, let's talk to people. Right, we can talk about Chu Young's supposedly fake panic attacks, which I'm pretty sure are real sympathy votes from a story.
그랬었지.
It was often discussed on the show after they showed the footage of her panic attacks. Her life isn't defined by it. It's not like she was having panic attacks just for the camera, you know. Inha's blue eyes quivered. They pressured her with the cameras up to the point where she couldn't hold it anymore.
그래.
Yeah, she tried her best to avoid it.
아니었어.
What I saw back then couldn't be faked. I got angry at the show for pushing her. It was clearly intentional. So did you step forward? What?
그러니까
Did you step forward and fight the production crew after you got angry? No.
그게-
No, that's... Yeah, I'm not surprised that that was gonna... I'm sure everyone was flustered when they saw her having a panic attack.
그랬지.
You ran up to her immediately. I thought she fainted.
그렇지만
When I watched it on TV, they removed the part where I ran toward her. That scene was edited out. I guess they thought my action didn't fit my character.
어쨌든
Anyhow, Chu Young's seizure was as real as it could get. The production crew pressured her a lot in order to trigger a panic attack. I couldn't believe they were doing it so openly. Chu Young tried to hide it. It must have been shameful for her. Was being way too concerned about public opinion than they had, like, any right to be.
내 참.
Yes, nobody expected this would happen, but still. The stage came down and we have a dead person at hand. Although we haven't heard any news about it,
아무래도
they don't even know what to talk about first.
아닌 것 같아.
I wish I could be forgiving, but this is just pathetic. It's like they don't know the seriousness of the situation. Inha lowered her watch after briefly looking at it. Checking it just makes me feel frustrated. Good grief. We should try to remain
있잖아.
calm. We need to relax, though. Things might be different out there. Oh, evidently. Wow, I'm sorry for not recognizing such a noble person like yourself. People called you a betrayer and you still smiled.
틀렸어.
You're being sarcastic.
야,
Can you blame me? Not really. Ina crossed her arms and wiggled her index finger. Of course you need to relax. Our first priority is getting rescued.
그렇지만
But if the official account is something confusing, it'll affect everyone.
그러면
You know what happens then? We'll have contestants looking to rebound.
혹시
Are you talking about Hyesung? Yeah, you saw his vain efforts, right?
그러니까
And we'll also have jerks like S_Sungyun crawling out from God knows where. I can understand there's no command center at the moment. This isn't something you'd expect from the official account. What are they going to do about this disorderly atmosphere, huh? let's talk about Inha being exempted.
아이고.
As the saying goes, even a broken clock is right twice a day. Inha was the only one who didn't get her past exposed.
그건
Do you approve of _S_ Sung-yeon's opinion?
아니라고.
You hurt my feelings. But what they said about Inha is true, though.
아마도
Probably because there was nothing. If something came up, she would have revealed it already.
아니지.
You know only one side of the story. If you take everything out from the gift package, children will lose interest.
알겠어?
No, you have to take the gifts out one at a time to get the excitement
그렇다는
going.
건
Are you saying there are still gifts in the package? Hyesung frantically scratched his head.
저기 그게
I'm just guessing, okay? We only know that she's at least 20 and that she did some dancing in the past. Do you really think that's the only thing they found out about her past?
생각해봐.
But what about us? They even aired the mistakes we made when we were in junior high and high school.
아니었어.
That didn't come out in the show.
나 참.
It's not just me, I'm speaking on behalf of everyone else. We all got picked clean by the show. Anyhow, Sung-yeon gave her a pass, that's probably what happened. It's true I spaced out during the training for the finals. But it is actually because of the history of school violence. Although it wasn't the only reason.
혹시
Was there another reason?
그래.
Of course, I'm such a delicate person. Around that time, I had a serious issue at hand. Shoot, now I'm not sure if I should tell it or not. Hyesung carefully chose his words. No, I'm not telling. Why waste time if you're not going to do it
뭐?
anyway?
왜?
It was loading. Any problem with that? How can you ever comprehend my delicate heart?
아직이지.
I still can't get the hang of it. I'll begin to talk when the time comes. Not really anything else I can talk to you about. Let's talk about Strange Letter.
그게요.
Oh, were you talking about the blackmail?
어?
Did it actually happen? Seiyu scratched his head.
사실은
It's true, she received blackmail that sent her cut letters from magazines and pasted them on paper. Well, she'd done a lot of things in the past, and this was new for her. But as you know, this one was very controversial.
아시겠어요?
You know, about the rankings, how many minutes of footage, song selection, people complain about all kinds of things. It's got nothing to do with the collapser S_Sung-yeon. I got carried away and said something stupid earlier.
그래도
But if it was blackmail about the show,
도윤이 형,
Doyun, think about it. What would you do if you received blackmail?
그런 것 같다.
She had no choice but to ignore it. Running wildly would only prove that she'd fallen for it. Maybe that's what the sender wanted to see. Seiyu slowly nodded after staring at him for a moment.
그렇죠.
That's the show's official stance towards threats and blackmail. You said Inha received a letter from an unknown source, right? The production crew responded in a similar way.
그건
You told me yourself, the wording was a bit different.
그거야.
Popularity or not, she just went, but it was the same reason after all. I don't think there was any reaction.
한마디로
If she appears to be in a rush, it'll just make the sender happy. She needs to come out looking sharp as usual so to show his action no effect on her whatsoever. That's why Sung-yeon ignored it. Are you saying it's irrelevant to the fatter account that's been acting out? I believe so. Well, let's talk about this too.
그게요.
Background checks.
혹시
You guys conducted them, right? Seiyu fiddled with the bag strap.
근데
What
그게
contestants told us just wasn't enough. Why is that?
그거야.
They tend to massage their stories to make themselves look better, and there wasn't enough info. For example, Hyesung didn't mention anything about his criminal record.
대체
How far did you investigate? Seiyu's eyes quivered for a second.
사실은
We didn't do it directly.
그렇다는 건
That means
그렇죠.
we hired agencies. You left it up to outside organizations. We had too much work with little time. Alright, the staff list and the outsourcing are things we can actually talk about.
아직이요.
They still haven't confirmed the number of staff.
그랬었는데.
I thought it would be quicker than counting the audience.
왜요?
Why?
그거야.
Because they all worked here. Say you stared at Doyun for a moment.
도윤이 형.
Could you put a bit more thought into it? About why there's a delay in confirming the list of staff survivors?
네.
Yes, you know why the things are going the way they are. I genuinely don't know. I'm not sure, to be honest.
정말요?
You don't know, are you serious? I'm sorry, this is my honest answer. Do-yoon stood awkwardly and Seil nodded. Okay, it's good that we were honest. You didn't have to know about it since you're one of the contestants. I might have been offended if you'd lied about
그런
it.
편이죠.
There are different types of staff members. We have temps and some workers from partner companies. It's not as systematic as checking the audience when they enter. I see, I didn't know. That's just how it is around here. It's just that I feel bitter about how they treat the staff.
그리고
We don't work with the agencies anymore. Did you gather enough info?
아니요.
No, there was an issue. Hyesung, for example, was ridiculous. The staff began to complain because one of the agencies was making too many mistakes.
그렇죠.
We didn't even pay off the entire balance because it was their fault.
그러면
Didn't the agency file a suit? If you didn't pay the balance, you violated the contract, right?
네?
I'm surprised you would ask me that. There were conditions when we signed the contract.
그렇다고 볼 수 있죠.
Both sides had to take responsibility for the mistakes they made, and there was also a clause concerning confidentiality.
그렇다는 건
So they just called it a day, happy with the previous
그 말은
payment. If there's a dispute, the agency has to refund the full amount. It's pretty serious if the agency was hired.
그렇지만요.
It was also stated in the contract for contestants. Entrust the show with the decision and don't hold each other responsible for incidents that happened during the show. That's unfair, though.
아무래도요.
Sung-ya needed the ingredients. I know it could be a very controversial issue, but I think it was a necessary evil for the show. It was necessary. I can't believe I'm arguing Sung-yeon's side right now. I guess I began to resemble her as much as I hated her.
한마디로
Anyway, as you said, we just ignored it. That's how we got this far. The favoritism rumor.
네.
Playing favorites. That came up sometime after the preliminaries.
그랬었지.
I'm not just talking about the amount of screen time given to Hyesung. They didn't take any action even after the exposure was passed.
그거야.
There were too many people during the preliminaries. The production crew tends to focus on the contestants who stand out.
인정해요.
Well, there's something I should admit.
그래?
Admit what? I can't deny the fact that the show was favorable towards Hyesung. But why? Because it clearly is still
그거
like
있잖아.
that. But why Hyesung? Out of so many fine contestants.
그러니까요.
That's what I'm saying.
세상.
Why Hyesung out of all those contestants? Well, she deserves such a piece of blackmail, but let's move on to the next topic. I'm okay. Say a bit on his lip. They should have checked his background first before backing him up.
말도 안 돼요.
I didn't get it in the first place. There was a weird romance scandal right after the preliminaries, right? But at the time, the girl took all the blame and was eliminated.
그래.
Yeah, I remember.
그래도
But he didn't get any favors after the past of his school violence was revealed.
그 말은
That's when we realized that he was a ticking bomb. I felt like you guys were neglecting him. Everything has its reaction, so we neglected him as much as we backed him up before. He should have nothing to say even if we kick him out the door. Is there anything else we can talk to you about? Doesn't look like it. The anonymous account. The audience list.
어떻게?
They appeared out of nowhere and started stirring things up. You can tell they're trying to create commotion just by looking at the username.
대체
Why did they have to come out at a time like this?
어쩌면
That's the wrong question. They came out now precisely because it's a time like this. If they're not worried about getting embarrassed or criticized, this is like the best timing. Why would they get embarrassed? Nobody can figure out who they are in the first place.
그렇지.
Right, they have nothing to lose. I don't know, should we put up with it or should we be proactive? I feel like we're gonna put up with it because most of this shit's... We just have to endure it, they're out of control.
그래.
I agree, although I'm really pissed off. If we take action, we're falling for their trick. People will think we're pathetic for arguing on fatter while being stuck down here.
만약에
Hyesung might go at it with them. I hope not. Hyesung was on the other side nervously jerking his feet. I don't think he'll behave rashly since there was an incident earlier when he used fatter.
아무래도
It's inevitable that people like S_Seung-yeon are acting up in chaos like this. And the response for the show is naive and hesitant. The mass media got overheated and people get excited. We get contestants like Hyesung aiming to rebound, and we also get anonymous accounts seeking attention. Are you saying we're in a situation where troublemakers can't be avoided? We'll just have to wait for the situation to sort itself out so the troublemakers will disappear. We can talk about the audience list.
그래도
I think they're almost done checking the audience.
그래
I know it could have been a disaster, but they're still checking the staff.
그건
I think it's more complicated. It doesn't seem logical, though. As for the show, the staff is supposed to be the family, right? Are you saying they should take care of the family first? Kind of want to say yes, but some definitely are worse than... I'm going to say yes just for now.
그거야
Of course, that's what families do. Family. Yeah, clearly not. I don't know, some families are worse than strangers. Kyu-hyuk's downcast voice made Do-yoon feel sorry.
솔직히
It's probably a good thing now, but nobody came here. I'm no different, but you're in a different situation. Because I was a disgrace to my father's family. Kyu-hyuk shook his head weakly. You heard the interview, right? He said he was ashamed to have two jokers in the family just hung
그래.
up. It was too much. Was that really necessary? He wasn't pretending to be mean, that's just how he thought.
저기
We're family, so to speak.
알잖아
Eating together makes you family, I guess. All Masquerade members thought we were family.
그럴지도.
I know. I am not trying to redefine what family is, but we all have common
알고
sense.
있었어
Yeah, I know.
아무래도
The number of audiences accurately counted the moment they entered the building.
그렇지.
But the staff includes part-timers and contract workers. They were more inattentive towards the family that they used to work with. Treated them like disposable tools. Now that I'm in this mess, I can see it more clearly. I wish they would hurry up and confirm the staff list, too. Nothing else to talk about you with. We can talk about contradictory, the unfair acquisition. They found the right time to post a groundless rumor.
결국
I think they're trying to talk about your
알아.
I know. Ju Young dropped her head and paused for a moment.
그래.
I did work as a barista. I didn't think it was necessary to mention it during the interview, and I just let it slide because the show didn't talk about it either. Coffee? Yeah, I like drinking coffee. I don't know. That's gonna be contributing to rumors. Let's do the other one. Why didn't the show talk about this? It's been exposing all the other matters from the past.
글쎄.
Well, only Seung-yeon knows the answer. I'm surprised you didn't ask.
어?
About what?
그게
I thought you'd ask me about how coffee and panic attacks don't go together.
그건
It's... People tend to ask me first because many people know about it. I've been enjoying coffee since before I started having panic attacks. I hadn't worked for a long time after leaving Beloved, so I decided to work at a cafe when the job was offered to me. Do Yoon wanted to point out that it was different from the relationship between coffee and panic attacks, but decided to change the subject.
혹시
You said it had been a long time, but still no one recognized you. Sometimes people ask me if I was Ju-young from Beloved. And I said no, I told them they were mistaken. Are you saying you pretended to be someone else?
그래.
I even asked the manager to give me a different name tag. No matter how much time went by, people continued to criticize me, so I wanted to deny myself.
근데
But I guess I couldn't fool everyone. Since it's resurfacing like this.
역시
You saw how other guys got attacked. There's a similar logic. Planting a seed of suspicion in the ground of truth that's either been revealed or speculated on. Truth and suspicion. The National University Gyu-hyuk graduated from doesn't offer all kinds of scholarships. Maybe they just wrote whatever they could think of.
내 생각엔
This is pretty clear compared to other rumors. Or he could just deny.
그건
It's up to Gyu-hyuk to decide whether to give an answer. You wouldn't even feel the need to explain yourself if you're so innocent.
그래.
Right, he should do that when he feels like it. Without even knowing it, I spoke like a B-star staffer. You can just say no whether it's true or not. To speak about myself, my own will must... Ju-young mumbled to herself while staring in one direction.
왜일까?
What do you think Gyu-hyuk is thinking now? If people start to believe it, it will be accepted as corruption or dirty play.
아마도
Considering his personality, he'd probably let them blabber on. S_Seungyeon is obviously waiting for a very specific response. They were hostile to Gyu-hyuk for depriving someone else of a scholarship when he himself wasn't experiencing financial hardship.
네.
The intended response can already be felt, but there must be a strict policy concerning college affairs. I don't believe it.
맞아요.
Gyu-hyuk is not that kind of character. I'm surprised you used the word character. I guess the show got to me. Right, we've agreed on the rules of the show after all. Okay, we've gotten everything we can. Oh, Inha raised her hand.
생각 좀
I've been doing some
해봤는데
thinking.
저 S승현이란 놈 있잖아.
About S_Seungyeon.
역시 안이랑 관련 있는 것 같아.
I think S_Seungyeon is someone in here.
안이라뇨?
Someone in here. Inha pointed her finger at the floor.
여기.
Here in this place.
무슨 귀신 씨나라
You're
까먹은
not.
소리야?
You're not making any
조금만
sense.
자세히 얘기해봐.
What are you saying exactly?
그러니까 예를 들면
I'm saying, for example,
서혜성이란 거지.
S_Seungyeon could be Hyesung.
와, 들켰네.
Wow, how'd you know?
라고 할 줄 알았냐?
You wish.
나도 지금 저 새끼 뭐 하는 놈인지 난감하거든.
I'm going crazy here trying to figure out what that bastard is all about.
이나 씨 깜짝 놀랐잖아요.
You scared me,
진짜인 줄
Inha.
알고.
I thought you were being serious.
넌 오인 아닌 편 좀 적당히 들어.
Will you stop kissing up to Inha?
내 말은 쇼 관련자 같다는 소리야.
What I'm saying is S_Seungyeon could be someone related to the show here.
이나야, 지금 우리한테 중요한 건 S승현이 아니야.
Inha, we couldn't care less about S_Seungyeon's identity.
큐. 말 되게 쉽게 한다.
Are you sure,
그러면
Gyu-hyuk?
난가?
Oh, it's actually not that much trouble for you anyway.
알고자가 공돈 타먹는 거 대단한 흠도 아니지.
A rich guy making a bit more money, not a big deal, right? Looking bewildered, Gyu-hyuk looked at Do-yoon.
침묵의 한도현 씨는 어찌 생각하시나?
Do-yoon, what do you think? You've been awfully quiet. S_Seungyeon and an honest account impersonating producer Seungyeon Shin. The commotion that the account has been creating is making everyone wary of one another. If this was the intent of S_Seungyeon, it seems like their efforts have been successful. Do-yoon thought about what S_Seungyeon had been posting.
S 승연이 쓴 얘기들
The post written by S_Seungyeon,
대충 찍어서 떠들었다기엔
they
걸리는 점이 있었어.
couldn't have been random guesses. It's the barista stuff was not public information at this point.
영희 누나가 쉬는 동안 바리스타를 했단 거.
Do Young working as a barista when she wasn't in the
나온 적
showbiz.
없는 얘기로 알고
That
있어.
was never made public.
그래,
You're right.
맞아. 알아보는 게 싫어서 가면까지 썼는데.
I didn't want people to recognize me, so I even used a different name.
비스타에서 보여준 적도 없던 얘기고.
You never mentioned it on Beastars either.
공황인데 얼굴 맞대는 일, 커피까지 즐기셨다는 사실도 나왔지.
You never said that you worked part-time meeting lots of customers or that you enjoyed drinking coffee, which is weird for someone with panic attacks.
서혜성, 너무 멀리 가지 마라.
Yes, Sung, you're going too far.
쉬는 동안 무슨 일을 했는지 마음대로 찍을 수는 있어.
Anyone could make a guess about what she was doing after she left the idol
그렇지만
business.
정확히 바리스타를 짓는 건
But they knew exactly what she did, which is quite unusual.
이나만 유독 옛날 얘기가 다뤄지지 않았어.
Why didn't S_Sungyeon ever talk about Inha's past?
야, 그건 방송만 봐도 다 아는 얘기거든?
Hey, that's because the show didn't cover much of my
같은
past.
생각이야. 대충 찍을 수도 있는 얘기지.
I agree, that could have been a wild
오히려
guess.
자체가 수상쩍은 거지.
Because Inha is a wonder of the world herself.
왜 그랬을까요? 같은 질문은 아무나 할 수 있는 거잖아.
But why? The same question can be asked by anyone, right?
도윤이 형이 대충 찍어서 말하고 있는 것처럼요.
Just like the wild guesses Do Yoon was making. Oh no, that's wrong. Maybe I
내가
wasn't thinking
걸리는데
right.
그냥 관심
So
종자인 거야?
S_Sungyeon is just an attention
그
seeker.
장학금 얘기.
I've never heard about
난
Gyuhyuk's
완전
scholarship. Was that not public either? Oh shit.
베스타에서 다른 적 없을 걸?
It was never mentioned on Beastars.
맞아. 학교 다닐 때 얘기 나온 적 없어.
Right, the show mentioned nothing about my school
나
life.
바리스타 했던 것도
It's the same
마찬가지야.
with it's the same with my barista work. It
비스타에서 나온 적 없어.
was never mentioned on Beastars.
또 스텝솔로 가나요?
Oh, you're suspecting us, the staff again.
스텝이 다 구출이 됐니 말았니 하는 때예요.
We don't even know if the staff has been rescued or not.
지금 저런 짓거리 할 만큼 한가한 사람 없어요.
Don't you think they have better things to do?
어이구야. 우리 장 FD가 또 스텝이라고 편을 드시네.
Wow, are you siding with your own kind?
친구라도 좀 만들어 놓고 편을 들면 내가 슬프진 않을 텐데.
But sadly, none of them are your true friends. You know that.
어쩌냐? 형아 눈물 날라 그런다.
Gosh, that's heartbreaking.
이제 막 구조돼서 구급차에 실려가는 판국이야.
They just got rescued on their way to the hospital.
페이토로 저러고 있겠냐? 생각을 일이라도 하고 살아.
And you think they're having fun on Fatter out of boredom? Be reasonable for God's sake.
아니면
Could
탈락자일 가능성은?
S_Sungyeon be one of the eliminated contestants?
탈락자 말이야?
You mean from Beastars?
어느 정도는 뒷사정을 알 수도 있잖아.
They might know some of our personal stories.
떨어진 다음에 알긴 힘든 정보 같은데.
I don't think they could have access to this information after they were eliminated.
떨어졌는데 저런다고 무슨 득을 보겠어.
What would they gain out of this when they had already been eliminated?
자기가 못 올라가면 끌어내리기라도 하려는 게 사람이니까.
It is human nature to drag everyone down upon failure.
그게 아니면
Or, with her head lowered, Inha raised her eyes and stared at the rest of the group.
여기 우리들 중에
S_Sungyeon
하나
could be one of us,
개인적으로 알았던 걸 터뜨려서 아예 보내려고.
trying to eliminate the others by spreading rumors which have been discovered accidentally.
계정이 다르잖아. S승연인데?
S_Sungyeon is a different account from ours.
다른 계정 돌리는 거지. 부계정.
Maybe one of us is using another account.
워치 쓰는 거 서로 확인해 본 적도 없잖아.
We never really cared about how other contestants were using their watches. At that very moment, something flashed through Do Yoon's mind. Unlike what Inha said, it was actually impossible for contestants to use another account.
이나 잠깐.
Listen, Inha.
출연자가 부계정을 쓰는 건 불가능해.
It's impossible for
왜냐면-
contestants to use another account because...
우리가 가진 건
We
워치 한 개뿐이잖아.
we each only have a single watch.
그런데 무슨 말이 하고 싶어?
So, what are you getting at?
일침 제대로네.
Wow, you hit the spot.
추리를 하시려면 근거를 확실히 대셔야죠, 오이나 씨.
If you're going to do an assumption, do it right, Miss Oh. Inha just stood there lost for words.
도윤이 말대로야. 워치로는 공식 계정밖에 못 굴려.
Doyun is right. Each of us can only use one official account allocated to each watch.
쇼에서 준 워치 거기 공식 계정이 귀속된 상태잖아.
The official account is bound to the watch issued by the show.
우리 중에 S 승연이 있는 건
That means
불가능하다는 거지.
That means none of us can be S_Seungyeon. It's impossible. Inha took a step back and bit her lip.
기세 등등하시더니 어이가 없네 진짜.
Backing off now, huh?
멀티가 됐으면 내가 진작에 굴렸지.
If I could use multiple accounts, I would have done it already.
좋아. 인정해. 워치로는 안 된다는 거.
Fine, I admit it. It's not possible with the watch.
근데
But do we
다른
know?
기기가 없다고 장담할 수 있어?
But do we know for sure that there aren't any other devices?
와 포기를 모르시네. 물러날 줄도 알아야지.
Wow, you're tenacious, aren't you?
좋아. 다 까보면 되잖아.
Fine. Why don't we just take out everything we have? Hyesung confidently turned his jacket pockets inside out. It looked like an inspection of personal belongings was about to take place.
세일. 특별한 거 있나 확인해봐.
Sail, see if there's anything unusual.
네, 알겠어요.
Okay, I got it. The inspection was over. All they had was their own watch. Bah.
혹시나가 역시나지. 그렇죠. 인하님.
What did you expect, Miss Oh?
알겠으니까 좀 꼬지 말아줄래?
Yeah, okay, enough with your sarcasm.
그런데 우리 한 사람을 빼먹고 있잖아.
But we're leaving one person out of this.
장세일 FD님.
Sail.
엄연히 여기 계신 분인데 빼놓으면 서운하지.
We wouldn't want to hurt his feelings by leaving him out of this, right?
내가 뭐? 가진 게 없는데.
What about me? I don't have anything on me.
그거야 당신께서 하시는 말씀이시고요.
So you say. Hyesung wagged his finger.
메신저 백.
Your messenger
거기
bag.
뭐가 들었는지 아무도 관심이 없네.
How come nobody's interested in what's in that bag? Sail grabbed the bag.
수첩 있다고 맨날 들고 다니는 거.
It's just got my notebook, you know, the one I always carry with me.
수첩 하나만 들어가기엔 너무 큰데. 너무나도 커.
Seriously? You need a bag of that size to carry a little
자기
notebook?
빠져나왔다고 아주 난사하는구나 너.
Just because you're off the list doesn't give you the right to fire blindly at someone else.
난사인지 적중인지 까 보면 알겠지.
We'll know if I'm firing blindly or not when you show us what you got in your bag. Hyesung came forward and Sail took a step back in response.
개인적인 물건이야. 왜 출연자도 아닌 사람을 잡아?
This is a personal item. Respect my privacy. I'm not even a contestant.
공익을 위해서인데 협조 좀 해달라고.
Hey, it's for the public good. Please cooperate with
의심병의
us.
아이콘 오이나님도 한 말씀 얹어주시죠.
Time for you to step forward, Miss Och the Doubter.
이나 씨,
Inha.
그게
Well,
아깐 내 생각에 빠져서 좀 오버했어.
sorry, I got carried away.
기분 나빴을 거야. 미안해.
I apologize if you were offended.
에?
Excuse me? Hyesung turned back to face Inha.
지금 뭐라고 하신?
What did you just...
까보라는 둥 물고 늘어져서 미안하다고.
I said I was sorry for suggesting an inspection.
딴기기 어쩌고 말도 안 되는 소리였는데.
About other devices and all, that didn't even make sense. Feeling awkward, Hyesung scratched the back of his neck.
아 저기.
Oh well,
인정하니까 좋잖아.
it's nice to see you admitting your mistake.
워낙 드문 장면이라 좀 익숙하지가 않네.
I'm just not used to it since it's a very rare case. Hyesung suddenly raised his head and touched the watch.
아 그래. 우리가 이렇게 마주보고 떠드는 중이잖아.
Oh yeah, we're always facing one another when we talk.
근데 페이터에 S 승현이 또 글을 딱 올렸다면?
And what if S_Seungyeon writes a post on Fatter while we're quarreling?
굳이 이 난리를 안 쳐도 외부인으로 끝나는 얘기였잖아.
Then none of us is S_Seungyeon for sure. We don't have to go through all that trouble in that case. Hyesung suddenly fell silent.
혜성아, 왜 그래?
What's wrong, Hyesung? Hyesung flashed his teeth in anger. As previously announced, the Real Survivor audition Buried Stars will continue. The cameras are all buried, so I'm gonna use Fatter. The contestant with the fewest votes will be eliminated. The loser will be killed. Only the top contestant will survive. From now on, do your self-promotion to go up in the rank. The judging standard is honesty. Confess your wrongdoings and make an apology to your fans.
미친 소리도 정도껏 해야 개성이지.
This bastard.
진짜.
I can't take their bullshit anymore. His his hands began to tremble.
되는 대로 말하는 거야. 신경 쓸 필요 없어.
S_Seung-Young is blabbering whatever comes to their mind. Forget about them.
필요가 있고 없고를 떠나서 이건
Forget about S_Seung-Young or not. This idiot. Next results will be announced on the hour. Hye-sung can go up in the ranking. Please show us lots and love and support. You don't bother to vote.
they're
using
자꾸 개소리를 찢어대잖아.
They're using Seung-Young's name to spew nonsense. Just when Do-yoon was about to intervene, Hye-sung began to busily type something into his
이
watch.
새끼랑 맞다이 좀 까야겠어.
I'm going head on with this jackass. Who are you? Pretending to be the producer and talking bullshit? Knock it off. Ah, Hye-sung, won't you show your respect to me? Are you revealing your true colors? People don't change. Are you scared of having no one on your side? I told you, confess your sins and be honest if you still want to raise your rank. You attempt to impersonate Seung-yeon. I'll make sure this jackass gets their facts straight. Who's this troll now? Seung-yeon is already dead. I saw her myself, so stop talking bullshit.
야,
Hey, what are you?
짓이야?
Hey, what are you doing?
공연
The number of shares is
올라가고 있어.
the number of shares is skyrocketing. All the attention and shock from the world rang through my head.
봐,
See?
대답하네. 이거 잠수 탔지?
S_Seung-yeon is not answering. They went AWOL on me. Hye-sung's voice was shaking.
이젠 사칭 따위 못해.
They won't be able.
꺼져버리라고.
They won't be able to impersonate her anymore. Screw S_Seung-yeon. Oh my. Confusion. Alright, Gyu-hyuk is still in first. Min, In-ha. Yeah, it's still the same as it was before. So Gyu-hyuk fully trusts us.
이거 괜찮은 거야?
Alright, I'm probably gonna end the video soon. Did we do the right thing?
그럼 헛소리 하는 걸 계속 두고 봐?
We can't just sit around and do nothing while watching this bullshit.
그치만
But
생방을 날려야 짜진다고.
we need to strike them first. Infuriated with S_Seung-yeon, who pretended to be Seung-yeon, Hye-sung posted a comment. Anger has turned him blind.
공수 벌써 1000이 넘었어.
It's got over 1,000 shares already. As the number of shares grew, the number of responses began to increase as well. Who's this? And everyone thinks he's lying. Of course they do. Checking it. The official account doesn't know. What's it, a lie? It's so out of the blue. Is it true that he revealed Seung-yeon's death while finding with trolling? This thing's not a fat or newbie. How can he do that?
야,
Hey, the official account is getting
계정이 얼굴
bashed.
터지는데?
난리 났네.
What a crowd.
야, 어쩔 거야?
Man, what are you gonna do about this?
뭘 어째? 어차피 알려질 얘기 아니야?
Do what? They were gonna find out anyway.
검토해서 공식 발표하는 거랑 네가 깝친 게 똑같냐?
There's a difference between a validated official announcement and your verbal throw-up.
공식 계정 맞는 거 안 보여? 너 때문이잖아.
The official account is getting attacked all because of
그게
you.
대수야?
So what?
저딴 거 잘 대응하라고 돈 받는 거잖아.
That's what you get paid for, right? To take countermeasures?
쥐어 터질 땐 쌩 까더니 대단한 의리 나셨다.
Why are you being unloyal now? You were quiet when they were flaming me. Chu Young raised her head to interrupt Said.
사망자 뉴스 떴어.
There's news about Seung-yeon's death. Yup, it's confirmed. There was an official announcement about Seung-yeon's death. Thanks to Hye-sung's spoiler, the situation had gotten all mixed up.
공식 계정에도
There's also an announcement on the official account.
방송 중단 어쩌고는 뭐야?
What's that about stopping the show?
등 떠밀려서 쓰니까 저 모양이지.
The account manager must have been pressured into writing it. Said frowned.
너무 성급해.
It's too hasty. I think the account manager.
바로 간 것 같은데.
It's too hasty. I think the account manager went right for it when people began to criticize the show after the news.
메시지 관리를 해야지. 한 번에 하나씩.
That's not the right way to do
저걸
it.
어떡하냐고.
That's not the right way to do it. You should take care of the messages one by one.
몰매 맞으니까 공식도 움직이는구만.
The official account is finally responding after taking a beating.
혜성아, 너 지금 무슨 말을?
Hye-sung, what are you?
배우신 분이 그렇게 이해가 느려서 어디다 써먹어.
You need to catch on faster.
되게 속 편해 보인다.
Do you even know what's happening here?
됐고 방송 중단으로 피 안 잊게 한다. 무슨 뜻이겠어?
Forget it. Well, what do you think it meant when they said they want to minimize the possible damage to the
공작이면
show?
어떻게든 이어할 여지가 있다는 거야.
It means there's a possibility that they'll continue the show after everything is settled.
넌 진짜
You're
진짜로 진짜다.
you're really, really, really something.
베스타 문 닫으면 어차피 다 쫑이야. 기회잖아.
If Beastars is dropped, then it's over for everybody, right? This is an opportunity.
이 난장판을 내고 기회 운운해?
How can you talk about opportunities after creating this mess?
웃고 자빠졌네.
You're laughing?
그럼 울어?
What do you want me to do then? Cry?
공식 계정이 낸 공식 입장이야.
It's an
어쨌든
official statement.
오더 받고 쓴 거라고.
It's an official statement made by the official account. The instructed manager was instructed to announce it.
그런다고 투표 수가 움직일 것 같아?
Do you think that'll change the votes?
아까 깝쳤을 때랑 똑같은 그
Nothing's going to change.
진짜 내 편 하나도 없네.
Wow, so I've got nobody on my side.
세일 씨, 신 PD님 없다고 너무 기고만장인데?
Mr. Chang, you've been in way over your head ever since Sung-yan died.
무대 무너졌다고 개념까지 무너지네.
Did your sense of rationality collapse together with the stage?
신인 총괄 PD신가? 출연자 인사드려요?
Oh, are you gonna be the next producer? Should I treat you with much respect?
말이 심하잖아. 어쩌고 싶은데?
You are being offensive. What is it you want? Hyesung put on a crooked smile and looked at Do-yoon.
알면서들 물어보긴.
You already know. Why do you even bother to ask?
도윤이 형은 내 상황 이해하잖아. 아니야?
Do-yoon, you understand my situation, right?
살 구멍을 찾으려는 몸부림이겠지.
You're just struggling to save your skin. Oh, so that made like everybody not like me because of it. Jesus, okay.
5등과 4등의 아슬아슬 케미 이거지?
Yeah, what chemistry between the underdogs?
야, 지금 서혜성 손 들어줄 때냐?
Come on, are you sitting with
더
Hyesung?
신나서 날뛴다고요.
He's going to be.
승현만 해도 골 때리는데.
He is running wild. We are already ankle deep with the S_Seungyeon issue.
이런다고 바뀌는 거 없잖아.
This isn't going.
진정하자 다들.
This isn't going to change anything. We should all relax. Gyu-hyuk frowned, shaking his head quietly. After listening to the rest of the group, Hyesung tilted his head to one side.
나
I'd better take
행동을 좀 해야겠어.
action on my own.
위기는 뭐다? 기회지. 딱 지금인 것 같아.
The best opportunities can be found in times of crisis. Now is the time.
네가 무슨 생각인지 감도 안 잡힌다 진짜.
You're just full of mystery.
난 베스타 계속 할 거고 뭐라고 하든 상관 안 해.
I don't care what anybody says. I'm not going to give up on Beastars.
지금 여기 꼴을 봐. 모든 구조되고 나서
Look at this mess. We might need to get rescued first.
혜성아, 진정하고 얘기를 좀 들어봐.
Hyesung, calm down and listen to me.
가까이 오지 마.
Don't come any closer.
난
It has to be now.
계속 한다잖아. 그럼 이기면 만사 오케이지?
They said the show's going to continue, then all I have to do is win, right?
꼴찌가 뭔 바락인가 싶어?
You think this is the underdog and it's death throes, huh?
저 S 승연인지 뭔지가 최하위 죽는다니까 쫄아서 설치는 것 같고.
That's because that crate threatened that 5th place would die?
케이턴이 인기 투표니 사실 난 그런 거 없어도 그만이야.
Fatter, popularity vote? I don't care about any of that.
이 장에 모기가 있으니까.
I have aces in the hole. Hyesung's glaring eyes turned towards Do-yoon. Do-yoon tried to read his eyes that there was nothing there.
이거 말곤 없어. 나는
This is all I've got.
아무도 따라오지 마. 내 얘기 혼자 듣고 싶을 테니까.
Stop following me. I want to deal with this alone. Hyesung turned and ran down the central corridor.
혼자 가면 위험해.
It's dangerous to go there alone. Gyu-hyuk shout echoed around the ruins. The rest of the group looked at one another nervously.
저대로 두면
if we leave him alone,
또요.
don't bother him.
아까 복도 봤잖아. 잘못하면
You know what kind of shape that quarter's in. If something goes
신경 끄면
wrong,
알아서 기어 나올 텐데 관심 주면 더 날뛰어요.
he'll crawl out of there when he's bored enough. Give him more attention, he'll just go crazy.
기억이 말이 맞아. 무대 뒤가 위험해 보여서 돌아온 거잖아.
Gyu-hyuk is right. We came back because the backstage looked dangerous.
텀을 둬야 쟤도 뚜껑 열린 거 닫죠.
He needs time to let it
지
go.
혼자 이 악물고 덤비기는
He can
뭐가 바뀐다고?
thrash and rage about it all he wants. What's that gonna change?
뭘 안다고?
He knows nothing.
지금은 놔두죠. 어떤
Let-
말도 소용없을 것 같아요.
Let's give him some space for now. Nothing will calm him down right at this moment.
도연아, 그치만
Do-yoon, but
아예 내버려 두자는 게 아니에요.
I'm not saying we should ignore him.
많이 흥분한 것 같으니까 잠시 동안만요.
Just give him some time to let off some steam. The others nodded, looking at one another.
아까 눈 봤어? 완전 핑 돌았던데.
Did you see his eyes? They were mad.
더 나갔으면 가만 안 뒀어요.
If he'd gone on any further, I would have done something. Say he pretended to be calm, but his voice was shaking.
정말 괜찮을까?
Will he really be
오래
okay?
둘 수는 없어. 여차하면 뛰어가야지.
We can't leave him alone for too long. We'll have to go help him if anything
갈만한
happens.
데는 대기실 아니면 화장실이겠지.
He probably went to either the lounge or the
흥분을
restroom.
가라앉혀야 할 텐데.
I hope he simmers down. Yu-hyuk let out a brief sigh looking at the door.
워치 가진 분들 메신저랑 페이터 한 번만 확인해 주세요.
Could you guys use your watches to check Messenger and Fatter?
서혜성이 뭐라고
Did he-
해놓은 건 없어요?
Did Hyesung post any comments? Just then, Do-yoon felt the buzz of a notification on his wrist. Yo, Do-yoon.
혜성이야?
Is it Hyesung?
네,
Yeah.
메시지가 왔어요.
He sent me a message.
양반은 못 되는 놈이네.
Speak of the devil. You okay? Where are you? I gotta talk to you. Just the two of us, okay? Dressing room. Come alone and meet me.
뭐라고 그래?
What is he saying?
둘이서만 얘기 좀 하자는데?
He wants to talk to me alone.
무슨 꿍꿍이로
What is he up to?
무기가 있다는 둥 그랬는데.
He has said he had aces in the
별
hole.
대단하지도 않은 걸로 정신 승리하는 거겠죠.
Probably nothing. I think he's just trying to protect the small amount of pride he has left.
다 볼 거지?
You'll go see him, right?
여기서 쉬고 계세요.
Yes, you should stay here and get some
언니는
rest.
내가 챙길게.
I'll take care of her.
그나저나 왜 혼자 오래? 불안하겠으리.
Why does he want to talk to you alone? This is making me feel nervous already.
메신저로 다 얘기하든지 전화를 하든지.
He could use text messaging or talk to us over the phone.
별일 아닐 거야.
Prob-
괜찮겠지.
it's probably nothing important. He'll be
혼자
okay.
흥분해서 설레발치다 사고라도 내면.
I'm just worried if Zanger gets him in trouble.
혼자 오랬지만 같이 갈까?
I know he asked for you only, but how about I go with you?
아까 상태 그대로면 위험할지도.
If he's still mad, he might.
갔다 올게.
I'll be fine. See you soon. Ju Young, who was leaning against Inha, raised her head.
지금은 좀 진정했을지도 몰라.
He might have calmed himself down a bit.
어떻게든 달래는 쪽으로 부탁해.
Try to coax him somehow.
혜성이가 제 말은 그럭저럭 듣는 편이니까
He listens to me more than you guys.
시키는 대로 가서 얘기해 볼게요.
I think it'd be best to go and talk to him as he
상황.
asked.
보고 나서 꼭 알려줘.
Come back and let us know what happened.
걱정하지 마.
Of course, don't worry.
혜성아,
Hyesung. Do-yoon turned the dressing room doorknob, but the door did not open.
잠갔어.
He's locked himself in.
나야, 말한 대로 왔어.
It's me, you asked me to come. After a short pause, Hyesung's voice came from the other side of the door. Are you alone?
그래, 네가 시킨 대로.
Yes, as you asked. The door opened slightly and Hyesung stuck his head out.
들어와.
Come in. Do-yoon stared at Hyesung blankly.
형, 내 얘기 듣고 있어?
Do-yoon, are you listening to me?
사퇴하라고.
I want you to drop out of the audition.
따로 불러서 하려는 얘기가
Is that all you wanted to say?
이같이 뭐겠어.
What else? Hyesung licked his parched lips.
공식 계정 봤지?
You saw what the official account said, right?
구조되고도 베스타 이어지는 거면 난 남아야 돼.
If Beastars continues after our rescue, I must remain on the
지금
show.
투표수면 내 자리 날라가.
If the votes don't change in my favor, I'll be eliminated.
그러니까 형이 좀 사퇴해줘. 어?
So I want you to drop out for me, will you?
캐릭터로 쓰든 장세일이한테 전화하라고 하든
Use Fatter. Tell Seil to deliver your resignation message or whatever.
핑계는 뭘로 대도 괜찮으니까.
Just give him your best excuse.
걔 핑계 대면 되겠다. 페이터의 그 미친놈 S승현.
Oh yeah, why don't you mention about S_Seungyeon, the troll on Fatter?
걔한테 휘둘리기 싫어서 자진 사퇴한다고 해.
Just tell Seil you're quitting because you're getting too much stress from the troll.
타임라인 꼴 봐봐.
Look how messy the timeline is.
그 새끼가 꼴찌를 죽이니 많이 했잖아. 지금 개판 5분 전이야.
This stupid troll even announced they would kill whoever's in last place. What the hell?
누구 하나 사퇴한다고 그게 뭐라 할 놈도 없어.
At this point, it would seem natural for you to drop out and no one will blame you. Seeing that Do-yoon was lost for words, Hyesung's expression began to change.
형, 베스타에 큰 욕심 없다 아니었어?
Do-yoon, I thought you weren't that attached to this show.
현비인 척 고고하게 굴어본 것뿐이야?
You're just pretending as if you were not
그럼
interested.
나도 생각이 있어.
Then I have an idea.
어떤 생각?
What idea?
폭로할 거야.
I'll expose your secret.
형, 정말로 배신자가 맞다고.
I'll tell the world that you really betrayed your friends.
대체 무슨 얘기를 하는 거야?
What on earth are you talking
이제
about?
내 얘기를 진지하게 들을 마음이 생겨?
Do you feel like taking me serious now? Do-yoon felt like fainting but tried to regain his focus.
바로 쳐져가지고서는
Don't freak out.
형은 뭐 나도 아닌 거 알아.
I know you didn't betray your friends, bro.
아, 그럼 왜 말을 그런 식으로 했어?
Then why did you talk to me that way?
이렇게 혼자 가버리는 건 뭐고?
And why did you leave all of us?
어우, 한수 접으니까 바로 쏴대네.
As soon as I back off, you're all over me.
혜성아, 무대로 돌아가자.
Hyesung, let's go back to the stage.
안 돼.
No.
끝장 보고 나갈 거야.
I'm not leaving until we resolve this.
싸움이라도 하게?
Are you going to fight me?
말이 돼? 내가 쳐맞지.
No way, you'd beat the crap out of me.
형 먼저 부른 건 제일 만만해서 그랬어.
I called you first because you're my bro. I see.
야?
얼굴 보니까 역시 어렵네. 블러핑 치는 것도 쉽지 않아.
But while confronting you, I found it's hard to bluff you.
무기가 어쩌고 한 거 역시 블러핑이었어?
What you said about having an ace to the hole, was that a bluff?
아니거든? 진짜 있어 무기.
What, do I really do have aces up my sleeve?
뻥 아냐. 형 거가 없어서 그렇지.
I'm not lying, I just don't have one to use against
바로
you.
거기까지 들어가긴 좀 치사하다 싶었어.
I thought it'd be a cheap shot to get into it.
이제 블러핑 집어치우고 건더기 있는 사람한테 쇼부 봐야겠어.
Forget the bluffing, I'll just call someone I can negotiate with. Hyesung looked to the side and smacked his lips. Hyesung just confessed that he had no secret weapon to use against Do-yoon. He was acting as if he'd had something to disclose on everyone else. Was he going to call the contestants one at a time and ask each of them to drop out? What was he really up to, and what did he mean when he said he had an ace in the hole?
혜성아, 나랑 얘기 좀 해.
Hyesung, can we talk? Do-yoon decided to talk with Hyesung calmly while not provoking him. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. Thank you all for watching. This has been Teo Tamara, and you have a great rest of your day.